ever recorded. And today we got on the desert train and we're heading for a prison on the horizon from which there is no escape. Let's go. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Do prison movies stress you out? They stress me out.
This one didn't.
Yeah.
No?
This one did not.
Okay.
Nope.
I
I
don't
didn't really
know why.
have many emotions during this movie at all.
I've never been in prison. I've never done anything that would make me believe I'd ever do anything in the future that would put me in prison. But some reason, the idea of being in prison stresses me out even when I'm watching other people in prison.
I feel like I've been more stressed driving by a prison
Okay.
than I
Yes.
was watching this.
All right. That's fair.
So what we could have done for the intro is let the music play and everyone just sit really still.
Oh, yeah.
And then have Brian come in and shoot one of us in the face.
Equal
That was
experience.
so crazy. Yeah. All right. Well,
I thought it
regardless,
was a still image.
we've got the crew.
Yes. I was wondering too. I was like, am I just staring at a picture?
Did
That was
it
kind
freeze?
of impressive.
I thought it was. So I tried to do a little game of gotcha. I was like, that's a freeze frame because look, not even the leaves are blowing or moving. But then when the dudes marched in, that still was like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, they were standing that still. Amazing.
Yeah, that was kind of impressive.
They were like, we can only film this on the day where there's not a scintilla of wind.
Yeah.
And don't breathe.
And they don't move at all.
Nothing.
Until one's dead.
Right.
By the way, this scene's like 3 minutes. I hope you all can hold your breath that long.
We're going to drive to the middle of a tornado so it can be the eye of the storm and be dead still.
That's right. That's right. Thank you guys all for being here. It's the crew from the I Know What You Did Last Summer episode. Back together in the same seats, I think, even. which
Yes.
is
I think
kind of
so.
I always sit
crazy.
here.
I
I
don't
don't
like
sit
change.
anywhere else now.
That was the first episode with cameras here, right?
It might have been. I think
It
And
was.
Then
That-
half of
that's
them
right.
died.
that's
And it
right.
didn't work.
Yep. It was
They were here. The cameras were here.
Stressing out.
So
It was the first time I sat at this table.
second time this crew together, first time on video. All right, we're rolling.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys all being here. We've got Steph, Thunder Steph. Sorry.
Hello.
What's up?
No escape.
No, that's true. Not from this seat. You got to sit here the whole time till it's over.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? You can't.
Ugh.
There is no escape.
There is none.
No, and you have to sit
That
next
now,
to
see, now I'm stressed.
Okay. Because you're sitting next to Brian Draws Movies. What's up,
Yeah.
man?
Hey, happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here, man.
Highlight of my month coming to do these things.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I love it, dude. And,
Love doing them.
Even though this is the movie you got stuck with, it was still the highlight of your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the movie.
I appreciate it.
Movie roulette. It gotcha.
And we got Dr. Ryan Mattila in the house. Hello, sir.
Hi.
I feel like it's been forever for you. I don't know why.
Yeah, it feels that way.
Yeah, so welcome back.
Thanks.
The studio is just brighter with you in it. Okay?
Dr.
You.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
We're back to that.
Back to that. You know what? If I can't live down Varsity
It's
Blues, you can't
Shafid.
live that down. That's your name forever.
And I also want to say thanks to everybody that's out there listening, whether you're at work, you're in the car, you're at home, you're doing chores, whatever you're doing. Thanks for being part of Bad Movies Rule. It's like you're at the table with us. We hope that's how you feel. If you want to connect with the show, there's a whole number of ways that you can do that. But before we get into all of that, we got to give you some vitals. So let's talk about No Escape, 1994. This movie was a Ray Liotta starring picture because in the 90s, after Goodfellas, Ray Liotta was a hot commodity in Hollywood. And so they dusted off old Martin Campbell to direct this movie. Not dusted off. He's actually working like crazy at the time.
Yeah, actually, he didn't do a lot of big movies before that. I just looked while I was in the car before I walked in. But
no,
there's some notable ones after this movie.
for sure. He did GoldenEye right after this.
Yep.
He also did Casino Royale. He also made like other non-James Bond
The
movies.
Zorro
Yeah.
movies.
The Mask of the Zorro. Vertical Limit, which is a movie I hope we do on here sometime.
Green Lantern.
I love Vertical Limit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I've seen it so long ago. I remember almost nothing from it, but I think it qualifies. Like, I don't think it got good.
Yeah, probably.
ratings. But yeah, back again. Last time we covered a Martin Campbell movie was, in fact, Green Lantern, which, that was fun.
I don't get what his deal is because some of his movies are actually decent.
Yeah.
And then he's got stuff that isn't
No.
possibly like this.
We'll see.
Movie was written by Richard Hurley, Michael Galen, and Joel Gross. As we said, starring Ray Liotta, Lance Hendrickson, Stuart Wilson, but not just those guys. Kevin Dillon is in this, the younger brother of Matt Dillon. We've got Kevin O'Connor, who I always think of as Benny from The Mummy, is in this movie.
He's also Igor from Van Helsing.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Got to talk about Ernie Hudson being in this movie as well.
Oh, yeah.
Winston Zeddemore.
Or Ian McNeice.
Ian
I know him
McNeice.
from Ace Ventura.
Yes, he's the guy from Ace Ventura. And then the guy that played the warden, Michael Lerner, was the book publisher from Elf that was like, a -8. That does not happen.
And wasn't he in Blank Check?
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
But for some reason, like I have him in my head in that movie. So
Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
probably is.
Movie currently sits at a 6.1. Not bad for the movies that we cover here on our show on IMDb. But when you
Why are we talking about it?
Because when you get over to Rotten Tomatoes, this sucker is 1% under fresh by the critics at 59%. But even if that one more critic had said, no, that's good, we still would have qualified it because it's at a 41% audience score. So the audience hated this more than the critics did. Ray Liotta can't get any love back in
I feel like-
1994.
I feel like critics are just kind of stupid.
Well,
That's why we're here.
Yep.
theme.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have a show.
Here we have assembled the stupidest of critics and made a whole podcast about it.
Yes,
So,
beautiful.
appreciate you guys for playing along with us. And so if you want to reach out to the show, you can do that at thisshowIstrash@gmail.com. Any complaints, please forward them there. And also you can call the show at 262-757-8567. Leave us a voicemail and we will get back to you the next time one of these days. I feel we haven't done a mailbag in over a month, so we got to get together and do a mailbag sometime soon. But we'll get to that stuff. Please send those in. Also, if you want bonus content, we've got whole other podcasts that only release on our Patreon. And so that's accessible. There's a link in the show notes, but you can also just go to patreon.com/badmoviesrule and you can get access to all of that as well. And if you'd like to listen to the video version of this, because we are in fact filming this, you can, audio is great. We love our audio listeners, but if you want to see our dumb faces, go to YouTube, sub on YouTube for us. We're out there. Bad Movies Rule also there. All right.
Was this one a full Dudikoff?
This was a full Dudikoff.
Yeah, I thought so.
Our boy Marco reached out and was like, hey, and he's doing awards for us today, so we'll get to hear what he thought about this as well.
You know what, Marco? I don't have words, man.
All right, well, you'll get your chance. How about we pay some bills first? We're in the future of 2022. 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Oh, gosh, what year is it? What year is it?
We're in the future.
We're in the future. This movie came out in 94. They're shooting far into the future in 2022. And in this future, prisons are big business, run as for-profit corporations.
Kind of correct.
And exploit the prisoners.
Yeah.
And I think, sweet. I'm thinking Running Man.
Yeah. Something
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Like Death Race.
Let's make some money on these people, right?
Gonna
We're
be cool.
exploiting them. Yeah. I can't wait.
But instead,
Well, we get the thing we were talking about with the three army, I think, soldiers standing up on a platform watching the guys march past in formation. And one of the soldiers breaks formation, walks up and shoots the commanding officer right in the face. We don't know who it is. We don't know the context. We know nothing. They'll wait till there's 5 minutes left in this movie
to explain.
what that was.
So until then,
We're just happy something moved. That's
Right.
all it was.
Yeah.
That's it. Perfect. Because it was freeze framed forever, right? But no, this guy, we assume it's Ray Liotta. We find out later it is Ray Liotta, smokes his commanding officer and gets put on this train in the desert. Looked like a train to frickin' nowhere.
It was on Mars.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
It did look like it'd be on
max
another planet.
security prison
What
on Mars.
happened? And he's just staring out. We get this our first clue that he hates. He's like, fire bad. Looking out the thing and he's freaking
Frankenstein's monster. Yeah.
out. Not even any fire.
I
It's just
didn't
desert.
even. That
Pick
was
up
how
on
good
that?
his acting was. I was like,
I love how the guy's like, face front. Don't look at the empty desert. Stop looking at the sand.
Then he slowly looks at him.
Face forward. I don't want you looking at nothing. We're going to prison.
How dare you?
What do you think this is? Sorry.
Candyland.
Yeah.
All right. So they get to this giant, looks like an oil refinery, but I guess this is a prison. It's called Leviticus.
And I'm getting into it.
Yeah.
We're about to watch something like Running Man.
There's a
This
futuristic train.
Yep.
All of the
It's a
stuff.
cool building. I think we're on Mars.
now throw that all away.
The kind of lame stormtrooper helmets that the officers wore. Like, those are stupid. But a lot of the set design was pretty cool up
Yeah.
till this point. They get in a naked lineup right outside the train. Make sure I want them all naked before I Wizard of Oz them here on this side of the
Line them up by
I'm gonna-
size.
And then I'm going to have the huge head with the big eyes and really check him out.
That's right. I want to really see what's happening here.
Send him to my room.
I was literally just going to
Yeah, that's how he picked it. I was like, how did they randomly pick that guy? He was like, yeah.
I want to see Robbins immediately. Yeah.
I want to
that's
see
weird.
Robbins.
That's right.
And I'm going to turn my back to him.
He calls Robbins up. Now, Robbins is Ray Liotta. And Ray Liotta comes up to his office. And he's going through like the back of his baseball card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see you're Special Forces, Navy SEAL, Black Ops, like, you know, whatever the hell all the stuff was. Like he was in every branch of the military, whatever. And then I see you've escaped from two level 5 prisons. Well, just so you know, there is no escape.
Everybody got that?
Okay?
This is also the point where he says, you guys went through basically saying that you were in the prisons that we mentioned in the text before the movie started. You were in those, and now you're past that. Now we're done with that, and now you're just gonna be in a spot where you don't escape.
Right. We're just going to tell everything about you for the audience's benefit here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the DNA sample we took tells us that you don't like
Authority.
authority.
Right. That's how that works, right?
This movie.
And then he says,
Ray Liotta's like, man, I'm really glad that's why you needed the sample.
and he goes,
But did it have to be a sperm sample?
Yeah.
he's pacing around the room. And then at the end, he turns around and he looks at me and he goes, anything to add? Yeah. Don't ever turn your back on me again.
Oh, what a line, right? I can't wait till later in the movie when we can be like, oh, remember when he said that? He said it like that so intent
yeah.
because now.
He must really be a badass. That's what I was thinking.
Well,
Yeah.
and like he's coming off as this very like, you know, badass, stoic,
Yes.
not afraid.
I bet he never cries.
Yeah, I bet he never gets scared. And then
Ever.
like the moment they're taking him to his cell, he's like and he's like panicking. And you're
It's
like,
the
wait.
next scene, snap to.
And he's like
Yeah.
panicking. And you're
Yeah.
like, wait.
What about the back?
I thought you
Yeah.
were never scared.
They throw him face first into his cell and it just breaks his face.
I got the impression that they must have beat him up.
Yeah,
for
I
a
think
while.
they softened him up.
Yeah. Because, well, he does, you know.
That's lost on me. I don't
Like beat him up on the way, whatever.
No, right, but anyway.
Turns out his cellmate, who I thought his cellmate was going to be like a major character. He's in the movie for like 3 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super insane. He's the dude scrawling stuff on the walls.
He wasn't actually insane though.
No.
Because he's like, they listen to our brains. They got computers in the wall.
And the guy's
it
just
pans
watching
over
him.
Yeah.
to the warden listening to them.
And you're like, oh, well,
There was a 1990s video camera set up in the corner, a boom mic hanging from the ceiling.
I'm telling you, man.
They're just standing outside the cell.
It's your brain waves.
You
It's not a
see?
chandelier.
We're literally right here.
Don't think out loud towards that.
Don't look at the
microphone.
camera. This is a documentary.
Yeah, but first he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "Hey mate, I got this food here for you. Quick, take
Pulls
this
it
food
out of his
crotch. Yeah, I was cooking this crotch bread for you.
Extra yeast.
I think it's sourdough.
Yeah. Quick, take it.
It's from
don't
it's
eat
from
it.
under cheese.
Yeah,
Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Good God.
put it back in your pants.
It was a joke, man. It was a joke. Bro.
Got him.
They come and collect him. He's like, they're going to come and get him. He's like, yeah, you're crazy. They literally come and collect the cellmate, right?
while he's sleeping.
While he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Then they bring Ray Liotta into this room where they've got his cellmate on like a metal pad, like chained up basically. And he's like, for hoarding food, he's going to get 10 lashes. And the lash is like electric fork.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
so
here.
like wobbly.
Take this barbecue fork and stab your cellmate.
That's right. And he gives him the first lash. He says, I would like you, Ray Liotta, to do the other 9 lashes, please. And he hands it to him and he just drops it. And this is, I can't ever see this guy anything other than the dude from Elf.
Yeah.
Pick it up. Pick it up.
9%.
That cannot happen. I'm sorry, kid. You're going to have to wait. This got to happen right now. Okay. It makes him pick up the electric fork. And
They're being real passive with him since he's a prisoner. Like they're not hitting him. They're not doing
Right.
anything.
And he's
They're
like,
just
I'll give you till 5.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets to 5. And nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Usually it's like 4.
puts
Okay,
a-
I'll pick it up.
He puts the gun to his cellmate. I'm like, he's known this guy for 6 hours.
Right.
And you're like, threatening to shoot him in the head is going to get
And
him
he's
to...
a convicted murderer.
Right.
Yeah, and he said that too. He goes, "I don't think you know me well enough
Yeah.
that you won't think I won't do this."
No.
I want to be like, well, I don't think you know that I don't know that guy that well.
But how does he know that I know that you know?
How do we know anything? What?
We don't.
So he picks up the fork so the guy doesn't get shot in the head. And he then, the guy turns his back on him again.
Kind of. This is the worst shot way to do this.
Yeah.
Because he's like
He
13
Houdini'd.
feet away from him, and he like scurries over and grabs him and puts the gun to his head.
Yeah,
He should
Houdini
have.
has the gun in his hand all of
Yeah.
a sudden.
Snatched the gun and the warden. It's got the warden prisoner.
The warden should have walked past him with his back to him really close so he could have just grabbed him. And then you'd be like, the warden's dumb. But this just made it awkward because he shuffles over. All the guards are like, hey, we have guns too.
But they don't hold them. They hold their billy sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
You better not.
We got fired from the other prison.
These aren't even electric ones.
So lame.
Get the fork. He left it on the ground.
This and also during this entire scene, it's so quiet.
It is.
Yep.
He moves over and steals the gun and all this, and the guys come around and everyone's silent.
Well, and he's in like an operating theater where
Oh, yeah, there's like
all the prisoners are watching.
They're like, sick. We get to watch this guy get tortured. Better than sitting in my cell.
Glad it's not me down there.
I know.
Yet.
He grabs the guy, takes the warden prisoner for like 4 seconds. And he's like, psych, I was just kidding.
Did the gun
Right, and
click?
then he
though?
just, like-
tosses the gun back to the other guys.
Well, I think he clicked the gun and it just didn't go off. So the warden didn't have it activated or something, is what I thought.
Oh,
I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that at all.
I could
I was
be
so
off,
confused. I was like, what?
That actually makes sense.
I was like, why
I
not
hope
just
that's
kill
what
him?
happened.
Yeah, me too.
But it wasn't. It was confusing. And then if that's the case, then that happened again to him later when he gets the other gun from the other guy, and it clicks, and you're like, "Bro, stop using guns. They don't work for you."
They
I
don't.
know.
They don't work for you. Only
didn't-
electrocuting barbecue forks.
He didn't buy. He didn't buy that DLC.
We didn't. You haven't unlocked this weapon for your loadout. The only thing that they've ever said about Absalom up to this point was the ravings of his cellmate. We don't even really know what it is.
Which, if there's no escape,
Yeah.
how can anyone ever tell the cellmate
Oh, yeah.
about
good
it?
point.
Because no one's ever left there.
Dang.
So
Plot hole. End it there.
Wah, wah,
this whole movie's a sham.
Now I know how I feel about it.
No reason.
All right. So they bring him to the island in a chopper after they beat his ass, right?
Yep.
And he's
Again.
half catatonic. They bring him up to a chopper, like, drop him near Sector 4. Okay.
The guy on the computer's like, I mean, I'll do it.
I mean, okay, fine. Bro gets dropped to Sector 4. All of a sudden, you start hearing, like, screaming in the jungle. And
Well, not after
Yeah.
10 seconds go
Yeah.
by and there's 100 rats on him.
oh,
Yes.
that's right. Thank
And
you.
why are there rats there?
Thrown onto the ground
Just-
with not a rat in sight.
Maybe that's how they feed the prisoners.
But where'd they come from that quickly? Because
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of the airdrops that they do. They drop rats in. They're like, eat that.
They threw it on top.
Welcome to Fear Factor.
get the basket of rats.
I'm Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He,
Welcome
yes,
to
I
the
forgot
island.
about the rat bath. Thank you for that one.
It's the only way to get clean on that island.
I think the first thing I would have done, okay, you get surrounded, dudes
All these
everywhere.
dudes show up.
There's like
and
Mad
surround
Max,
him.
but like Mad Max mixed with like tribal looking
African
Yeah.
tribal men.
And then people in, like, blackface.
I was just going to say, somebody
Yes.
didn't tell them that in 2022, we don't do blackface anymore, guys.
Oh,
It's like half the
Not
tribe does that.
kosher.
Not even, it was weird. It was
Yeah.
like different, because I know there's supposed to be different gangs, but he
Yeah.
tries to get them together later in the movie. But
they're already
really
together.
seems like they all sort of work together already.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make. I wanted him to stand up and go. Any chance this is Sector 3? You know?
No, Sector 3 has nice teeth.
Oh, that's right.
Sector 4 has.
Oh, don't
file
even
their
bring up
teeth
nice
down.
teeth. I don't get that either.
They
Yeah.
drag him in. They drag him into their camp, like seriously, like Han Solo style on a stick from Return of the
Yeah,
Jedi.
yeah.
Okay.
Did you
And-
notice though his hands? So his feet were over the stick bound.
Okay.
His hands were just bound together, and he was just holding the stick with his hands.
Oh, he didn't want to get dragged. Maybe that's what it was. He was tired of hitting his head on the ground, so he just was doing.
He's like,
a
"Do we
pull-up."
have to go over all these rocks, guys? Come on."
Gosh. I thought, like, I mean, they seemed like cannibals. The dudes filed their teeth into like razor sharp teeth.
Right.
You know.
So that was like intentional.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
not just like, oh, my teeth, you know, over time
They just
degraded
look like
into
that.
spikes.
Quit chewing on rocks.
Yeah. They're not edible, Steve. Stop it.
I thought they were going to drink this guy's Kool-Aid, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Walter shows up and says, "Stop!" and look up, and this is clearly the leader of these people. We come to know them as the outsiders.
He has the only toothbrush.
He does.
Yes.
Yeah.
And braces.
He's been here for 7 years, and his teeth look like that. Yeah.
I got so many questions about Walter. I know they call him, what's it, Markin or
Merrick.
Merrick.
Merrick, yeah.
Merrick,
Yeah.
Merrick. But literally at one point, somebody else's first name is Walter, I think.
Do they?
Yes, I'm almost positive they do at some point.
I think he says it himself.
He might.
Walter's here or something like that later in the movie.
Okay. That was the first time that the character made sense to me when he was called Walter. I'm like, this dude looks like a bad guy from the Road Warrior, but he talks like he's an insurance salesman
Yeah, man. This
from Newark.
his character choice was, I'm going to be the head thespian
Right.
of the Outsiders theater troupe. And
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
what it was.
Did he act? He was like, "Well, fellas, come on, let's gather around this pool and
Yeah.
and like you're
That
talking
was
about
improv.
a gang
That was an
of
improv game.
cannibals,
Yeah.
okay?" And he talks like he's at a dinner party every scene.
Yeah.
It's probably because he comes off as like more intelligent. So that's kind of why they view him as the leader, because he's kind of like sarcastic and has quips and
Yes, but tonally, it's so weird because he doesn't seem like a guy that would have 4 piercings through the bridge of his nose
Or
I liked
eat
those.
other people.
or eat other people, right? Or any
Yeah.
of that. Like, it just
Right.
didn't jive for me at all. I like Stuart Wilson. As soon as I'm like, oh, it's a bad guy from Zorro. Like, that's where I always remember him
Well,
from.
I couldn't figure it out. I had to look it up, but Lethal Weapon 3 is where I had him from.
Also, that same
Yeah.
movie, yeah. And he's great. He's great at playing a bad guy. But the way they made him look
Didn't work.
didn't ring true to like how he played it. If he was going to play it that way, he should have looked different. That's just the way I feel about it.
I feel like if he had grimier teeth, it
Maybe
almost
it's better.
would have helped. Like
Yeah.
he looks so
Yeah.
he almost looks like he's an orthodontist that's dressing up for Halloween.
That's a good point. He comes down and stops them from eating Ray Liotta, and he says, "Welcome to Vacation Paradise, where our accommodations are delightful. We're just gonna give you a little bit of a tour and see." You know, and he's like talking very eloquently in front of all these mouth breathers running around, and he's like,
They love it, though.
"Yeah, they're all into it." They're like, "Yeah, yeah."
Hey!
He's like, "We're gonna play a game to see if you get to stick around or not.
Yeah.
It's called 5 Minutes in the Pool with Ralph."
Yeah.
And I'm like, funny enough, 5 minutes in the pool with Ralph is how my cousin lost his job, but in this case, it meant something totally different. Okay,
I feel like I need that elaborated.
That's in the after show, folks.
after a show.
The unedited version coming your way.
But he basically is this just big, scary looking guy with a huge blade, you know, and he tosses him a little blade on a stick.
And he was like licking the blade as if
In
that,
the-
like in what realm is that ever intimidating?
Never.
Yeah.
The
I don't-
least intimidating way to lick it, too. He's
Yeah.
just like,
He's like he was like at the base of it. Like,
Hey, whoa, careful, dude. That's sharp, man.
I don't. By the
And
looks of his mouth, I'm sure
his
he's.
face too is like I know act scary. No, scarier.
I'm so sick of doing
pretend
this.
like you're Two-Face. I want only half of your face to be.
That's from having a stroke years ago.
Ray Liotta, David and Goliath's him, basically, right? I mean, it's just like
That was
one throw.
supposed to be a
Yeah, not a whip.
not
Not
a
a
whip.
whip.
It was supposed to be
dun,
like a
dun, dun,
dagger.
dun.
Not the whip from Baby Got Back.
Yeah,
that's,
no.
that's right.
Sorry.
Though that's
Well, how would
very
you-
similar to the scene in Indiana Jones where he just pulls out the gun and shoots the guy.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
How would you make that sound?
I wouldn't, because
That's fair.
got him. And then this is where he says, the
he
average.
offers him to stay. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, that's incredible. The average person only lives 6 months. And I'm like, you have 600 people, and
Yeah.
they each live the average of 6 months. That means most of these people haven't been here that long, and they all look this bad.
Yeah.
Right. They
That
just
doesn't
they
make
just
sense.
showed
Doesn't
up
make any
looking
sense
that
at
way.
all.
Yeah, they dropped him off like we'll dress him up like tribesmen
You know what?
before we drop him
You're
off.
so gross. I'm sending you to the island. Like once you've gotten to that point, that's the deciding factor of why you go. Be like, oh, your teeth are rotting. Off to the island.
I don't want to look at you anymore.
I don't want to look. Yeah, you
disgusting.
smell.
He offers to let him stay. He's like, I could use a man of your talents, and a position just opened up. And he offers, and he goes, all right, I'll stay, you know. And they're all like, yeah, all right. This guy, Ray Liotta, has no chill in this movie. None.
He has no chill, and he also has no personality.
There's-
I don't know
or
how you
humor.
do both.
120 guys around you. Where are you going to go? He just starts running. How do you know what's over there?
And I immediately thought, these are probably the only people on the island, and you're running away? Like, where are you
Yeah.
going to go?
Right.
yeah.
Right.
It's also like they didn't really give you any reason to run away.
Right.
You know, like
I mean, they're cannibals, but I mean,
but
they're
you've
offering him, like, a
obviously
job.
you've proven yourself worthy.
and maybe
you know,
they're good at cooking it. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. Try everything once.
right?
This freaking log trap from Return of the Jedi. This is like Return of the Jedi all
Yes.
over again. This log trap comes down. He's good at avoiding traps. He's very skilled. They do
This-
a lot of work to convey that.
This whole few scenes is them cutting like gruesome things happening.
Yeah,
but
they're
they're not. They won't show you what's happening.
No.
But then later, there's a lot of gruesome stuff. So were they editing heavily to avoid a rating? Like,
They must have been, or they just that's the way they shot it. They didn't
Yeah.
have the footage.
I did think it was kind of cool the way that the log worked, though.
Yeah.
Where you didn't see him get impaled. There's also he swung back.
And the body's on there.
I thought that was kind of cool. That was right after he stuck his knife staff into the tree with a million roots on it.
Yeah.
But that one stick tripped the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
and then he falls 30 seconds later because
Yeah.
no one in this universe looks down.
Oh, he
Right.
He
He's
just
just
is
like,
running
"Whoa!"
straight ahead.
Yeah.
Down a hill. Bro, there's trees everywhere. He misses all of them. One time I want him to roll over and face into a tree.
Yeah.
Because or something. It's incredible.
Snap a leg.
He gets down to the bottom of the hill, takes off running again, and then we see Merrick Walter's already down there with some, and he goes, "Let him go."
We took the elevator.
After they arrow him in the butt.
Well,
they get-
and they say let him go, but then they just go after
They
it.
go right. Yeah, let him go. All right, now let's go.
Okay, now
Let him go for. Okay, now.
wait
One
for
second.
it. They get him on the cliff. They freaking dart him on the cliff like Ace Ventura 2 style. Like, same thing. That movie.
Yeah.
But so I thought that like the darts were supposed to like knock him out or knock him unconscious or nope, it was just to push him off
To
the
push
cliff
him off the cliff.
because he's completely conscious.
Yeah.
Yep.
A light
Right
breeze
after
would have
that.
done it.
Yeah, like or just go up and push him. Like why'd you dart him in the neck?
This guy, I hate to be that guy. He's so dead from this fall. It's such a
Oh,
long
for sure.
distance. And he
That
doesn't-
was like a real dude. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure that
it,
did
it
that
was.
stunt.
They set up this rig and they did it with a real guy.
Did they?
Okay,
Did he
yes.
die?
No, but the way he didn't go feet first or dive in. It's straight on his back after falling all that way.
That was
How?
like 500 feet.
Yes, there's no way you die from jumping off of like bridges. People, could kill themselves that way.
Yeah.
That's kind of dark. But you know what? I'm just trying to illustrate
Yeah.
the point here. Okay. Yeah.
That death
Yeah.
can't happen. When he looked down that cliff the first time, I was like, oh, you can't go down that way because
Right.
you would never reach the water.
he
And
would have
then
been
he
better
fell.
off just jumping off if it was actually possible. So I
Right.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, when he fell, it's like, oh, there's no way he survives this.
The end.
Yeah. Maybe because he was
He has
limp,
escaped.
that his muscles were just like, we're not going to tense up.
Ernie Hudson scoops him up. The good thing for him is that Ernie Hudson and the Bamboo Crew were down there.
The Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys, yes, were down at the bottom of the cliff.
Let's take him to Daddy.
Scoop him up to take him to Father. This
Don't
is
say daddy again.
This is wait for it. This is the Insiders Camp. Yeah, you get it.
So clever.
Doesn't it seem more like they're the insiders and these guys are the outsiders?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Right. Okay.
Depends where you're standing.
I suppose.
Yeah.
They're inside
Yeah, if
almost the
they're,
ocean.
if they're in the gate,
Yeah.
they're the insiders.
Yes.
Oh, they have a
Outside,
gate.
Yes. So that makes all the difference. Civilized gate.
And we meet Lance Hendrickson, who is playing the father, and he's very, very sophisticated himself.
Sorry.
Yeah. And well spoken. He's like, "You're the first person that's ever escaped from the outsiders."
Where
what
are the
about
other
the
100
like
guys come
100
from?
people that are in this camp?
Who are all these other people?
And also, there's such a weird array of people They're like,
Yeah.
aren't these prisoners
Yeah.
that have been dropped off here? I just didn't get
For
that.
no escape. And they're like, I didn't file my taxes on time.
The worst of the worst.
I'm
go
behind
to
on
this
child
island.
payments.
The only thing I can think is that
parking
you know when they
ticket.
brought Ray Liotta in on the chopper and like drop him at Sector 4, that might be maybe certain prisoners are like drop him in Sector 1.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
but anyone that's been dropped in Sector 4 never makes it out.
It has to be that way because,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off. It has to be that way because he even said people that were over there haven't escaped.
Right.
So then there must be other people who have come straight from
Right. There has to
straight
be.
to there. Yeah.
So they have at least 4 sectors. Are there other people besides these 2 main groups? Or that's it?
We'll never know. That was going to be No Escape 2, but it didn't make enough
We're
money.
still here.
That's right. For the other two
We're
camps.
still here.
He wants them to join. Ray Liotta's like, I'm not joining your dumb camp. I'm trying to escape, man. I'm trying to get the frick out of here, dude.
You guys
Yeah.
seem really nice. Screw you.
Yeah.
This is his attitude the
Thanks
whole
for this
movie.
bed and this room and this
Yeah.
food
Mending my
and-
wounds.
Yeah, and these clothes and this homemade crutch. I mean,
Yeah.
God, you guys though. I'm out.
Yeah. I want out of here. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Take him to Dysart.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I
Why
don't
did
know.
he have to go to this guy?
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's like as if it was like a protocol. Like this person's new.
Yeah.
The next step is to go to Dysart.
We're going to introduce him to Q.
Yeah, but he just goes there, and there's no relevance for that to be the next step.
There
Not at
wasn't.
all.
Yeah.
And then he goes and meets Chubbs, who's like hosts all the new guys, right? This is the guy from Ace Ventura 2, and sets him up in his room and all that stuff. And then he's got
guy.
Casey following him around, right? Casey,
Yeah, like a lost puppy.
Kevin Dillon.
Chubbs too, really quick.
Yeah.
He has this weird fear of germs
Yeah.
for 2 minutes.
Yep.
And then that's done.
After that, never.
We don't
never
care anymore.
Play that again.
I'm
You're
over
right.
it.
They just dropped that whole plot point.
Forever talking about pink eye, this and that, and then it's gone.
It's like we don't even have penicillin around here, so you can't ever get sick or you're dead.
Cut to the other tribe later that night, and they're all just as gross as possible, getting in fights. They have cuts all over, and they're fine.
They're fine.
Merrick's like second in command has all those weird pussy things. I was like,
Yeah.
that's probably what pink eye looks like on this island.
Probably exactly.
Yeah.
He finally, Casey, he catches up to him and he's like, "Why are you following me, dude?" He's like, "You're just such a badass. I want to be your friend. Please give me a hug." And he's just like, "Get out of here, dude." And he follows him to the ocean. Ray Liotta goes down to the ocean to check that out. Right? They're all, I mean, there's this whole scene. I'm skipping through a lot of this because it's just like, there's a lot of dead space in this movie. I'm sorry. That requires no commentary, but it's just they lay out the island for him and this is the camp and all this stuff. And it's just like a regular working, functioning camp of nice
They have like
dudes.
electricity and
Kind of,
like
yeah.
all kinds of stuff that there really would be no way that they would have.
We find
Right.
out they get attacked 3 or 4 times a year,
Right.
like
Yeah.
really bad,
Yeah.
and they just are like,
rebuild it.
let's just keep going.
Yeah.
This
fine.
is working.
It's fine.
So he goes down to the ocean because his whole mind's on getting out of here, right? And he's like, I'll just swim for it. And he's got this box he tosses in to test how strong the waves are. That thing gets shattered.
Like there's waves and rocks. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Exactly.
That's weird.
Oh, I don't think I'll make it.
And Casey, not to be deterred, comes by and hangs out with him some more.
Wet dreams.
That's right. That's what
Why
this
am I-
place is called, man. Because we just
Say
dream about
again?
getting out of here.
Bro, at least say no homo.
But maybe there is homo.
This is smart though. They've got guys out here just gathering up everything that washes up on the island, right? And this
Yeah.
is where you meet Kevin O'Connor's character. Benny is not his name, but whatever his
Stefano.
name is. Stefano, thank
Yeah,
you.
I remember because I was like, it's weird that that's the one person in the whole movie that has his own music.
Yeah.
There's like this
Yeah.
weird. Bam, 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 bam.
That's true.
There's
Welcome on down.
Yeah, you're waiting for like a voiceover, like, well, Stefano was on the beach today. Little
like-
did he know he was about to get a visitor.
He's like, all right, man, I'll make you a deal for those boots. You sign over to me when you're dead, and then I get them. You know, he's obsessed with the boots. Ray Liotta's boots the whole movie. He's like, I got underwear in here. He's like trying to make a deal for.
Size
Don't ask how I
44.
got it.
Yeah, don't ask how. It's clean, man.
Enough.
Right? We got everything you could possibly
Been in
need.
the salt water.
Looks like I got all the undies.
I'll tell you, this camp is missing some real essential things for a functioning society. But one thing they never speak to it, but they apparently have a ton of razors.
Yep.
Yeah.
everyone's clean shaven as frick.
Well, he said
in this camp?
He said I have razors. They're
Yeah,
pink.
that was after the fact.
After. And the Chubbs was like, make sure you wash your face really good before you shave. Because if you get a cut, then you're dead. It's like, maybe just don't shave.
Dude, everyone should have a beard. Everybody
Everyone.
in that camp should have a gigantic freaking
Of
beard.
different lengths so you know how long they've been there.
Right.
But
As
that
soon
would
as you
have
saw
really
Winston,
helped.
I was like, "Where's the barber shop?" Here?
right.
Yeah.
He has like that perfect haircut,
The
a
tight fade. Yeah, the whole thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, dude, you got clippers up
And
in
didn't
this
he say
camp?
he's like, I've been here for 17 years.
30,
Yeah.
13, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, who's giving you the 1 inch high fade?
You're the only black guy, so I don't understand.
I don't. That's also
Sorry.
true. But it's true.
We got a snapping turtle that just chomps.
Late at night, he sees them carrying something to the water, and so Ray goes to follow them, and Ernie just punches him before he can get there. He just pops up out of the darkness and just, bam! I told you nobody comes out at night. This is still prison. He's like, I'm not listening to you. Like, I don't know what you think this is.
Rules don't apply to me.
That's right.
Winston's like, well, I didn't think you were going to say that. Okay.
I don't know what to do.
All right, so you're lucky I didn't hurt you worse.
Yeah.
And then Ray just punches him in the face. I'm lucky. What about you, man? What could I have done here? Get out of here. I don't understand his character. He's in every scene. He doesn't really do anything of consequence through the whole movie. He's supposed to be the head of security. I love the actor.
Yeah.
But
He's
what is he given to do in this?
supposed to be the head of security and does nothing to secure anything
Ever.
Ever.
Well, I don't know what we should do. Well, just whatever he says. Let's do that.
Yeah. And the one time he does get to start making a plan, he's like, and then I think we should have a moat.
That's
We'll
right.
They're coming tonight. Let's build a moat.
That's right.
I think that'll take a little longer than
we
you're
have
thinking.
2 hours, so
Get
let's-
the shovel. Yeah. The one.
you go collect alligators. You get the shovel.
I'm going back to the barber shop.
Oh, my gosh.
My fade's faded.
Fade's faded quick.
the next scene, it's just him going to drink piss water with this moonshiner,
Yeah.
right? Stefano brings him to drink.
You
some
need a
piss water.
drink.
I'm like, that is urine.
Yeah.
They look disgusting.
That
Look
is urine.
disgusting.
Fermented urine.
Right.
Ugh.
Finally, something actually happens, and you hear somebody come running. Like, we all have to get to the gate, and so they all go out to the gate, and somebody is being banished. Right?
He
Because
fell asleep twice.
when he went to go scope whatever they were carrying out to the water. They
Yeah.
throw him out.
That poor guy. He probably told him to, like, guys, I'm narcoleptic.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a
I don't
bad
have
job
my
for me.
meds
I'll do
here.
a lot of other things. I just can't.
I'll learn how to do the fades. I don't.
Whatever you guys need. No,
You're on guard
Get
duty.
up there. Get up there. Guard
Who would
duty.
ever sign up for guard duty ever again?
Nope.
Like, I'll just be the guy that shovels crap.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not going to get me banished.
Right.
It's like no one's going to get killed if I forget to shovel this pile of
I'll be the
crap.
doctor. They probably don't do much.
Well, I don't
I'll
have any
hoard the
medicine.
Yeah,
turkeys.
I don't have any medicine or anything to stitch you up with or any gauze or really anything. So
Hand me the knife.
yeah, I mean, I'll just cut it out. Have a nice day.
That's it. So it's a capital offense. He gets banished, and the frickin' father is all like, this is good. It must be done. And Ray Liotta's pissed. Like, that guy's a poor victim. And
Everything.
The
Father.
murderer.
Yeah.
The murderer is saying,
yeah.
But also,
it's not okay to send him out there.
like, he doesn't even want to be there anyway.
Yeah.
He's trying to leave actively.
He is.
So
Everything,
shut up.
Everything father says, it's like, I have wise words. I am.
I
the
have a
wise
deep
man."
voice.
Yeah, like I don't know what character he's trying to play, but he's just obnoxious. And then Ray Liotta's character, yeah, is a good point. He cares so much now, and
I still
all he's
haven't-
done is be like, I'm a badass. What? You gonna kill him?
Yeah.
Like at this point in the movie, I still don't know what his personality is supposed to be.
Multiple.
Clearly,
Yeah.
that's the only thing that's clear.
Vacuous.
Yes.
So it cuts over to the outsiders camp, and they're trying to convey that there's some kind of dissent starting to happen in the ranks. And so Sharp Teeth guy's like, maybe we should get the guy that threw you in the pool to be in charge to Walter. And Walter doesn't like that and chops bro's head off. And then
cleanly, that blade has to be so sharp.
Yes.
Like, holy crap.
You ever get your head cut off and you don't realize it happened? You got to think about it for a second and be like, did my head just get cut off?
As it falls off of
I
your
think it's
spine.
gone.
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
it's gone.
Sure
What are
did.
those called? Jujitsu? No,
Yeah.
the
Katanas.
Oh, frittatas.
It's it's Japanese for sword.
Those knives that cut through anything.
Oh,
cut
yes.
through this can.
Yes.
Cut
Oh,
through this
yeah, what
penny.
are those
Yes.
It cuts through this tribal man's neck.
That's right.
But wait,
That's a lot of damage.
And then Walter just goes, ha 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 ha. Now that's funny.
And no one responds.
I don't think they got the joke.
Yeah. He's
Workshop it, man. Come back.
Yeah.
Can you
His
tell-
improv sucks.
Yeah. Can you tell more jokes? Pretend you're selling more real estate. That would be better.
Please. He says we need to take over everything, and he's like, we're gonna have to get the gangs together or whatever. Like, this is what we need to do.
You know how they're all right here? Let's get them together.
Well, we're already together.
come closer.
More together. Chop all these guys' heads off too,
Yeah. Don't question me.
please. We cut over to the good guys' camp, and they're having a Christmas party.
With a sound system.
A pile
Oh, yeah.
of speakers is
That-
their sound system.
Because, one, they would never be ruined by an ocean.
No.
And two, electricity is a hot commodity and it's just available.
And one of the speakers looks like tits.
I missed
Okay.
that.
I didn't catch
Missed
that,
Did
but
not see that.
You guys got to go back and watch.
You were delirious at that point.
blinking lights.
what am
Show
I
me
seeing?
a girl.
No, that's not true.
I need a girl.
Well,
That's not true.
there was a lot of bros dancing together. I'm like,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
care how no escape it is. I'm not dancing with bros.
I'm
Those were the
escaping
party
that.
planners.
That's what I'm
Those
saying.
are the ones
It's like-
that planned the party. They're like, okay, we're going to need some construction paper.
Come
We're
on,
going to make
guys.
everybody hats.
We all gotta dance. It's the rules. I don't make them.
And in this one room, not outside, in this room,
In
this
this room.
10 by 11 room.
Everybody.
Everybody get in here.
Is that mistletoe?
From this Christmas party, there is no escape. You have to be here.
And the big guy's like, I'm feeling in the mood right now. Now's
right.
my time to throw out my sweater. Hey, I made this for the long, cold nights.
You want to square dance awkwardly? Meanwhile, there's bad guys on the perimeter about to storm the castle, right? And they're hooking up lines to pull down the towers and all this stuff, and everyone's just like, dur, dur, dur. And
Right,
remember we
like-
just killed that guy for not paying attention, being a guard?
How did you not see them?
These dudes are walking along the pier and getting got by the dudes popping out of the water and killed. So they're just, the perimeter guards are getting killed while they're all in here tap dancing.
They might as well have been sleeping.
They might as well have been.
I didn't really understand where the water was from,
Yeah.
right? Because the ocean's over this way, this is over that way. They're on a peninsula.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I didn't really get it, but
I didn't really think about that, but you're right. Like,
Yeah.
there was enough water there for them to be hiding
This
in
is
it.
our pond.
This is our.
We grow
they're like,
trout.
We have ducks. We feed them bread,
crotch bread.
crotch bread.
Bring it full circle.
Meanwhile, Father gives a toast, and Ray's got to be Debbie Downer and be like, to our victims. Thanks. Read the room, dude.
we made hats for this.
We made. How
Okay.
dare you?
Honestly.
Do you know how long it
dare
takes to find construction paper from the ocean?
Yeah. Aluminum
long it
foil
takes to
stars on
dry.
all these things.
Ray just wants to take off, man. That's all he wants to do.
Then go. Like it's just
Literally, no
asking
one's
you to
stopping
stay.
you.
Start
Just
swimming.
Seriously.
Their whole thing is
jump
like,
in and chance it, man.
they got ships 50 miles out. They'll kill anything that tries to escape the
They
island.
have a 5-mile monitoring
Yeah.
system
For
that'll
the island.
kill you.
Like thermal imaging. And like
Yeah.
they'll see that's a boat or a body or whatever.
And then, like, when the helicopters do end up there, they're there within 3 seconds.
yeah.
Yes.
So that
That's-
didn't really make
They're
sense to
hanging
me.
out on the island somewhere, guys.
They
Like,
They're
have
in
to
Sector
be.
1.
go find
Yeah,
these,
the other sector.
go find these choppers. They're there,
They're-
gassed up.
They've got to be. It's impossible otherwise.
So when the raid happens,
Yes, because
and
this is
they-
what's happening now. Is the raid?
they cut over to the warden. He's like, "Is anything getting picked up for thermal imaging?"
I didn't
Like-
understand
Oh
that.
my
Like he's
gosh.
really worried that the island's going to get discovered. But why does he? If he's not able to generate money from the island because he's not recording any of it,
no.
which would have been the way to go.
Since we're exploiting the prisoners.
He
This is the. Yes.
It falls
it's
apart.
I think it's a kid with a magnifying glass on an anthill. I think he's literally like, this is his sandbox, and he just wants to see what happens if he puts people in these scenarios. And
But it literally destroys the entire plot point of the entire movie. Like
Yeah.
the very beginning is prisons are big business.
Yeah.
And they make money.
So
All you had to do is get rid of that text.
That's it. Put that shouldn't have been up there.
So you be the warden, and I'll be the tax guy who's
Yeah.
like, okay, so we're going through. You got a write off here for an island.
Yeah. So
We got some thermal imaging software.
50
What-
buckets of rats.
How are we? What's this island for exactly?
Oh, it's a landfill. It's where we put all our garbage.
Okay. And the rats is a good point. What? Why? Why do we have rats?
They
rats
make
like garbage.
Excellent pets. They
Each
really do.
prisoner gets a
It's a
rat.
rehabilitation program. They
Oh,
each
okay.
get a rat.
It's an emotional pet.
Yeah.
It's an emotional animal.
To
for
help them, they don't have a connection to the outside world anymore. They're by all effects dead, as we like to tell them when they get here.
They all have razor sharp teeth.
That's right.
And wear blackface. So they're definitely
47
rehabilitated.
crossbows that have just rope tied around them to make them look like they're handmade.
And yes, exactly.
And also one booby speaker.
That's right. Don't forget about that.
That was like 50 grand. Why is this on here?
I'm not taking any
Listen.
questions.
There's not a single woman in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Not one. Okay?
It's hard to do the Hot Babe Award.
It's hard to do the Hot Babe Award in this one for sure.
The speaker.
The rats.
I like how
Speaker.
while the raid starts, Casey runs over to Ray Liotta. He's like, "Will you stand with me on the wall? Get out of my face!" And then he goes
Mom
and
said I don't
stands
have
on
to
the
talk
wall.
to you.
And he goes and stands on the wall anyway.
And he's like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, his
oh,
little
hey,
smile
I
like the beginning
changed
of a
my
sitcom.
mind.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
It happens so many times in this movie where somebody does something, says something like, "Psych, I'm going to do it anyway." Like
Maybe
the let
he's-
him go thing earlier, and then I don't know.
Maybe he's the one woman in the movie.
They also
just
go.
have-
Oh, sorry.
He's on his period. I don't know.
Wow.
Well,
They go. How did we know that we're being? How did they know? Well, they got tipped off.
Right.
They got tipped off, but there are literally 100 lanterns lit in the woods.
Yeah. Why are they
How could
waiting
we
so
have
long?
known?
All right, the fire arrows start flying into the camp, and I'm like, that's the perfect thing to use on this
Yes.
wooden camp. Of
Yeah.
course, they're using. We didn't expect fire arrows. Get the hose.
Oh, my
We don't have
God.
a hose.
But the first fire.
but we have
arrow-
electricity.
The first fire arrow.
Yeah.
Right in the yawning guy's mouth.
Oh, that's right.
That was
Oh, yeah.
good.
That was kind of cool.
It's like, wow, that was aggressive.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dude
But
gets
the guy being impaled on the log is too much.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
as the arrows start flying, and you start seeing guys get shot in the chest, and they're wearing armor.
I was like, what does that armor do? Why do you even have that on?
It looks cool.
If all it's going to do is restrict your movement and not actually deflect arrows,
Wooden sticks.
What's
what
the
are we
point?
doing?
Wooden
Yeah.
sticks.
Well,
on
and it's-
fire wooden sticks.
It looks
He got
like
shot, I'm like-
bamboo, so
Right.
it should deflect it.
He gets shot. I'm like, oh, lucky guy, right in his armor. No, he's like, he falls backwards.
The end.
They're
Yeah.
all afraid of fire.
Oh, my only fear.
They tear down the wall. Boom. The whole freaking tower comes down.
Why didn't Ray Liotta react
I
there?
thought of Jericho. Come on, break the wall down. Sorry.
He missed a lot of reactions.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
because it was fire all over him, and he's just like, well, this is weird.
Right.
A lot of ass kicking. Like everybody's like, they all rush in through the hole, and it's like your standard battle scene. The two guys or the two groups run together and start fighting. This is also another scenario that stresses me out. Like anytime I watch Braveheart, this whatever, like any kind of battle scene in a movie, I would hate to be. I mean, for all kinds of reasons, I'd hate to be in the middle of that. But I just think that battles like that just had to be nothing but people getting third partied all the time.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because once you're focusing on one person, someone
done.
else is just going to come kill you. Right.
Well, and also, like, how can you even tell the difference?
Right.
Like, when they're all
Yeah.
blended together, they're all crappy and dirty and grimy. So,
Right.
like,
I'm sure at one
I
point-
wouldn't be surprised if
Show
they were
me your
killing
teeth.
each other. Yeah.
Someone's
yeah,
like-
show me your teeth.
You're my best friend. Why are you stabbing me?
You didn't say the battle cry safe word.
That's right.
You would have to squad up. Like, that's the
You'd have
only
to.
way to survive that kind of battle is have like us 3 or 4 people are going to be watching each other's backs and fighting together.
Because
That's the
otherwise,
only
it's
way.
just everyone's getting third partied at some.
And that's the problem with all these movies is it's always like this person's fighting by themselves. This person's fighting by themselves. Isn't this crazy?
No, someone else would just run through and just be stabbing all the people
Yep.
that are engaged with other people.
Just cut their Achilles tendon as they
Yeah.
walk by.
Jeez.
Although
dark.
Monk Dude was squatted up with Father. He
right.
was pulling some
The bald,
bulletproof
monk, the bald monk was cool.
Skull was his character name.
Yeah. I like
That was an
Skull.
awesome move where he jumps. He's got
Yeah.
2 separate feet on people's
Yes.
chests.
double kicks. Yeah, that was sick.
Father does get stabbed though.
Very
Right in the armpit.
Yes,
Actually, it was more like right in the shirt.
it took his nipple off. That's about it.
they're like, we'll bring him up to his office, but Walter's waiting with his second up in his office already. So when Skull drags father into the office,
He meets Walter
They get
and good old
ambushed.
Scabies face.
and you think Skull is killed, he gets hit and gets knocked on the ground, but turns out he's just faking it to wait for the opportune moment. But now Walter is like, I'm here to kill father. Like this is we're gonna make it just a one-on-one thing.
And he also calls him dad and daddy. And part of me was like, is it supposed to be that that's actually your dad, or are you just playing with the fact that you were part of this group? He was the father and now you're not.
That's got to be it. Ray Liotta also rode like a, I don't know, wicker basket or something along a rope, or it was like the laundry rope or something.
Ray Liotta's stuntman also went on the rope and kept his face pointed away as much as possible.
Yeah, he did.
Extreme, like 180 degree. Make sure you don't look over by the
I'm
camera.
not looking over by the camera no matter what.
You don't have anywhere near the jawline of Ray
He goes to
Liotta.
go up the stairs.
You can't pull
but-
it off.
He goes to go up the stairs, but Skull is like, no, stay down there, dip. I'm here about to do something. All right?
I'm waiting for the opportune moment.
That's right.
I'm also bleeding out, but
He
that's
sees
beside the
there's a-
point.
He sees Ray Liotta goes, he's now underneath the room. He's watching Walter walk across the floor planks. And there's a damn trap door in the middle of the room.
Boy, that's convenient.
Dude is just pacing.
Who
back
doesn't
and
put a
Glad
forth.
trap door in their treehouse, man?
I'm glad this trap door washed up on the ocean, washed up on the shore.
He also, when he climbs in the window before he sees Skull, he's like, he looks around, he's like, oh, here's this giant axe.
Oh, that's right.
That's
he pulls
it.
it.
Well
John.
played.
Perfect.
He right as Walter's like, I'm going to kill you now, father, and walks towards him with a blade. He just yoinks the trap door and he falls right through. The same time, Skull gets up and kills Walter's second guy. And now they have Ray Liotta and Walter barely fight for like a second underneath because the flaming guy comes down the stairs and gets in front of him. And Walter's like, peace.
Bye.
And they all just, not just him, the whole army dips.
For no, like really no reason. He's
Yeah.
just all of a sudden goes, ah,
Yeah.
and
We're
starts
leaving.
running. He's like, ah.
I think they were winning.
While I'm on my way out, I'm just going to slice this midget and keep going.
Yeah. Ah.
Also,
Forgot about that.
everyone else is screaming, so how do they know that's the scream to be like, oh, time to go, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone, that's what.
It'll be in the key of G.
Oh, they all harmonize. Time to get out of here. Jeez.
Someone pulls
they're
out a little
definitely
whistle to
winning.
make sure.
harmony.
They've outnumbered them. They're winning. He
Yep.
just starts screaming and running. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we go?
This is when he's like,
We going?
how often does this happen? You know, they're taking stock of the aftermath. He's like
4 times
once
a
a
year.
quarter, you know?
It really affects our numbers.
It's almost Q2, guys. Prepare.
So, also, it's 600 to 100.
Yeah.
So you'd have to take out 6 guys to have made your part, like done your part.
I know, but I think what they insinuate later is that they didn't have all the guys together because after this, he's like, we got to get all the gangs together for the next rally or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know, whatever.
That's stupid.
I thought Ray was getting real emotional at the funeral. They're having like a funeral pyre for some of these guys.
Yeah, and his eyes, I mean, man.
I thought
he
this.
just smoked a fatty.
He just had pink
he
eye.
was like he was on an episode of Hot Ones. It was like he just had the real spicy wings where they get under your eye. Like,
Yeah, like his
oh.
face was like vibrating. He was like, "Ooh."
You know, I can't cry on command. Somebody get me a bomb covered wing right now.
And then I'm just going to rub my eyes afterwards.
Oh, I got ghost pepper fingers right on my eyes. This is not good.
Fire.
Do it now. Do it now.
Sean Evans pops in. Careful around your eyes, man.
Bro was,
What? I already rubbed them.
Bro was literally just having PTSD.
He was. So that's what I realized. He's having like PTSD flashbacks, but I'm not going to make fun of. But what I was going to say is as weird as his acting is through the movie, I thought he played the hell out of someone having a panic attack.
Yeah.
Here in this moment, right? That was a really well done scene to me.
That was
I don't know why it's happening, but
that was a elevating acting moment in the movie
Yeah.
for the rest, like from the rest of what he did.
right. We don't know what his PTSD is from. Like, did something bad happen on the 4th of July, or was he in a battle somewhere, or
Right, because they don't, even like the flashback that they give
Right.
us doesn't really
Yeah.
explain anything. It's
was-
just shadow figures screaming
Yeah.
with fire.
He was remembering when he was cast for Born on the 4th of July 2,
that's right.
July 5th.
That's right.
The day after 4th of July.
So the next scene, the next scene in the movie,
That's all this movie
Yeah.
is.
he sees him bringing more stuff. This time in the daylight, out to the beach, and he runs out there, and they're test driving a damn boat off the island. And he's pissed that they didn't tell him about it. He's like, because there's a mole in our freaking operation and we didn't know it could have been you. Right?
Because you just got here.
Right.
Right. But all the other times we've been told on, we assume it was you then as well.
And
somehow.
No one has ever escaped Merrick, and you're here now.
Right.
But I don't know.
So
That is kind of suspicious.
you know what?
So this boat,
Don't
this
trust you.
magic boat that, what was the guy's name?
Dysart.
Disfert, something. Okay.
Disfart?
Dysart.
Dies
Made a
quickly.
Covered
dies
boat,
hard.
and if it gets 1,000 meters,
5 miles. He has to
5
get
miles
5
out.
miles out
then you've cleared the perimeter.
perimeter.
And he's got an internal cooling system in this thing, and
It's a
apparently
fan.
people. And it's a fan.
Yeah.
the big blade.
It's a fan
Hot
from
in these
an old-
rhinos.
from an old IBM.
Yeah.
They washed up, right?
It's like one of those sandwich ice packs you put in your kid's lunch.
Right.
Luckily, this mainframe washed on.
Yeah, one of those little handheld fans that missed you.
I wanted more questions answered about what kind of cooling system do we really have on this thing, man?
He's
Also-
just peeing on himself.
What if they just made it as a sub that's under the water? It might be less detectable.
Sub.
But no, we're going to have this little pill that's just floating on the surface.
right.
Very CGI'd.
When he's measuring too, that device that he's using, it is clearly a bicycle horn.
Yes.
On the front of it. Yeah. He's like,
That's
"Let me
our
see how
emergency
far
alert
it
2,000
is."
more meters.
Jeez.
And they have like a bottle bottom, just like, oh, that'll zoom in for me. That
Yeah.
works.
Sound the alarm.
It looks like he's going to clear it. And there's a little blip on the security guy's thing back in the prison, but he ignores it for a second because it doesn't go away. But it was a transmission from the island that ultimately alerts the prison to what's happening. And then the choppers, like you said, are there
It's whoosh, immediately.
3 seconds to smoke this boat right out of the water. Okay. And then turn around and shoot where they're all hanging out in their little canopy.
They're like, you know what?
And where they're hanging out has camouflage. The only reason to have the stuff on top is to hide you from aerial view. It
Right.
should be invisible.
Right.
But apparently, they
But
don't
not
have
if
put it
they're in the air in front of you.
He shouldn't have
on.
honked
Yeah.
the horn.
Okay. Yeah.
He let it. There, get out there.
He's the mole.
He's like, I want to be on the next boat. Like, you just got here, man. There's people.
You
in
haven't
line in
earned
front of
death.
You. You haven't earned the right to blow up.
Yeah,
yet.
exactly.
Stand in line. Yeah, I'm gonna blow up next. This guy in the back says.
These guys are training in caves for months.
That's right.
What are they doing? Okay,
Yeah.
spin the bicycle wheel, spin the fan.
They're fanning.
You have to learn how to use
Make sure
the
you
cooling
can
system.
cool yourself.
We find out they've got a freaking V8 engine in storage. Okay.
Which if he was in my place and I had something covered with the blanket, if you just went over like, what's this? And took the blanket off, be like, hey, man.
That
Like,
could have been
no,
a dead
yeah.
body. What are you doing? Well, and also they're like, you seem to be missing one crucial aspect of this, which
Right.
in my brain, I'm just like, yeah, gasoline.
The spark
nope.
plug. The carburetor's rusted.
Yeah.
There's so many things. Where did it come from?
We don't know. Nobody knows.
But no, it's the distributor.
Because that didn't wash up on shore. Guaranteed.
And then they're like, oh no, Merrick has one. Why?
Oh, man. And good
Why?
thing they locked him in that room for 1 minute.
One solid minute for him to be like, distributor.
Yeah. Hang out up here with these in the attic with all these little
Trinkets.
knickknacks.
It appears to be
We're
a-
going to get everyone here so that we can put on our skit. Okay.
Right. Then they pulled him out.
I
Right,
bet
he was
we'll
in that
need this
closet.
later.
He was in that closet for like a minute. You're
yeah.
right.
He's like, it appears to be a distributor for a V8.
He tries to bargain his way onto the next boat by saying, if you don't give me a boat spot, I'm not helping. But if you give me the next boat spot, I will go back to Walter's camp that no one's ever escaped from, and I will get you this distributor that only I know where it is, and then we can do this thing. And he's like,
Okay.
all right, you kind of tied my hands here, man. So, all right, fine.
He's like, but I want you to tell people.
That's right.
You got to
Then
tell
he's
people
like,
about the island.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, I told you what I was going to do. Okay. Those are my conditions.
There's no negotiation
Yeah.
here. And that would have been like, well, then no.
Yeah.
As he's
Like,
heading
that's
out,
all I'm asking you to do.
And why is that not worse than them sending one guy who fell asleep during security?
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Yeah. And Casey wants to go with him. He leaves. He's got his pack and he's gearing up.
Frickin' Casey,
The
the toddler of the movie.
What's the guy's name?
I'm going to Walter alone, Sam.
Yeah.
Soprano.
Of course you are. And I'm going with you.
What's his name?
From Entourage?
No, the guy that Benny. What was
Benny, yeah. Schlingy. Stefani.
Stefano?
Stefano, yeah.
Stefano takes one more swipe
Schlong.
at getting the boots.
Bring, ding, bing, bing, and a bong, bong. Oh, it's Stefano.
Let me get them boots up off.
Here, just sign this boot contract, and I'll be on my way.
Get out. I was making an oral.
He really just wants to see his feet.
I'm going to go get a witness. Yeah.
He finally
They're
passed.
See them dogs.
He's got his backpack, and he's going to go on this, Navy SEAL mission, basically, like to go back into this place. And Casey wants to go too. He's like, "You ever kill somebody before?" Like holds him up against
Asks
the
him
tree.
that's what you're going to have to do.
You ever kill someone?
You ever killed someone?
You ever
Taking a life.
hang out in a Turkish prison?
You ever seen a grown man naked?
That's what I'm
I've never
that's
been
what
on
I'm
an
gonna
airplane
do.
before.
You ever hang around a gymnasium?
You ever turn your back on anyone, kid?
No. So you think Casey stayed behind? Of course he didn't. He goes cut back to the outsiders camp. The dude's dumping out a sack of heads in front of everybody. So I killed all of my staff. I'm in charge now. We're getting the gangs together. Shut up, because these are all the gang leaders, I'm assuming.
Yeah, if you have any questions, it's just because I really, really, really want to be the guy you
wanna
listen
be in
to.
charge.
That was his
That's
reason.
literally
That's
what he said.
That was
I
the dialogue.
And the reason is because I want to be in charge.
I really
let's
want
go.
to be in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Really,
And he's like, "What do you say, bros?
Do you see these dreadlocks? I mean business.
We cool? We cool? We cool?"
We cool,
Yes,
cool.
that's their heads. I still don't get the joke. This guy thinks it's hilarious to cut heads off. It's his favorite. I don't know. Just shut up and we'll go on
I mean,
the next
it's
raid.
more balls for the bowling alley.
Okay. Wow.
Two in the nose.
We find out.
or the eye.
Yep.
I don't want to do the calculus on how that works. Ray Liotta is now in the bushes, like right at the camp already. And what appeared to me, stumbling out of the camp was Casey.
Yeah.
Very-
Was he drunk?
Yeah, very confused.
He's very
like,
disoriented.
I thought this was Chuck E. Cheese.
because he fell down the same hill and he was like, "How did I not hit a tree?"
How did I not see the hill?
It made me think he was the turncoat when I first saw him stumbling
I think
out
they
of
wanted us to think that.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
But it makes no sense that he would
Maybe not.
would have beat Ray
Right.
to the camp,
No.
right?
Not a chance.
He's like, "What the hell's the matter with you, man?" Like
And then he's just immediately captured.
captured immediately.
You're like, all right, here we go.
They freaking strap him up to a torture device. It's like glass pieces and a collar around his neck, and he's got to hold up this bar. But there's also other bars that come up and stab him in the legs.
It's like from Saw.
Very elaborate.
It's so elaborate when you could have just like,
Stabbed him.
well, that or just attached a rope to each limb and pull.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I feel like how
pretty
Casey
rough.
got trapped like in a Bugs Bunny trap. Like that's how they got him. You know what I mean? With like the little rope. I'm like, how does that work?
There's a carrot under a box.
It's something. What's this?
what is that?
Is
Ooh,
Ray
piece
here?
of candy.
It's shiny.
Now we see him in the torture device, and we see Ray is now already dressed as a pirate. He's
Because he killed one of them, I guess.
somewhere. He's like, but he doesn't cover his face.
Nope.
He just was wearing a do rag, and
It's me,
it's still me.
It's Prison Mike.
Put up, yeah, it's prison money.
the Dementors.
The
Dementors.
Dementors are coming. That's what. Put something on your face. War paint. A mask. There's got to be some,
Literally cover the only distinguishable feature
yeah. Do
of
that.
yourself, which is your entire face.
I did like when
Even
he
mud
the drunk guy's like tossing knives at the like target away from everybody else, and he just grabs one and so nonchalantly just knifes this other dude for
That
no
was
reason.
pretty good.
He's trying to get up to the closet where they held him in so he can get this distributor. Okay. The double kill with the arrow. Oh,
I rolled my eyes all the way back into the back of my head, and then they came back around.
I couldn't because I was laughing so hard at the noise they made.
this is why.
How are you making that noise? The arrow's through your lungs.
Have you ever seen
or
Scooby
your
Doo?
throat?
Multiple people peek around a corner. They got to be at different levels. They peeked around at the same level and caught an arrow from Ray that went straight through one guy's neck and into the other guy's neck.
He's shooting a crossbow, and all the darts in the rest of the movie are about this long, and they're really tiny. This arrow was like Predator arrow.
Yeah, it had to go through two humans shoulder to shoulder.
Good thing I brought the big crossbow.
That's right. Oh, this is the perfect time to use this. Pulls out this huge thing.
It was handmade. You see the rope?
He's got to shoot it with his foot.
Don't bring the big crossbow. You're not going to use it. Joke's on you. I got a double kill.
grabs the distributor out of the closet. It's still right there. And these guys are the entire gang is gathered around this torture device. They've still got him, and the interrogation is basically like, look how young you are. There's no way you're out here by yourself.
Because
Right.
he's 12? Like,
He groped him a bit too, didn't he?
Did I think he
I'm
did?
pretty sure he
I felt
did.
like he did.
Oh, you're so young. And grabbed him. I was like, whoa.
fresh meat.
And tight.
The two weapons they gave Ray when he left was two Molotov cocktails. Okay.
That he
And
just stuck down in his bag. Those won't spill
No.
at all. It'll be fine.
he pulls one out at this moment. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. They're
Light
all
up 100 people.
they're all bunched together, right? If ever there was a time to use one of these things, let's go. No.
No, I'm going to throw it at my own feet.
So, yeah, either do that or leave.
Or just leave.
Don't just blow up the house that no one's in.
I think he thinks it's going to be a distraction, but it's got to be like optimistic thinking to think all 100 guys are going to all chase after instead of just like 20.
Fire! Run!
He's lucky as many went, because if
Yeah.
I'm the leader, I would have been like, you two go check it out.
Yeah, right. Everybody tried to run up to the flaming room to see what was going on.
We like fire.
Everybody.
Moths to flame.
It was the only fire in the whole movie, too, that didn't spaz out Ray Liotta also.
Yeah.
Point of fact. It's supposed to be a distraction. He saves Casey, but, Walter's too smart for that. So you see him looking around like, I bet this is a distraction.
I have nice teeth.
He gets Casey out of the contraption, but they find him immediately and they all surround him. And it's back to 5 minutes in the pool. This Walter's favorite game, guys. I don't know.
Kind of weird.
weird.
A little
Gonna go size you for
strange.
bathing suits after.
That's right.
And he says,
We don't
you
have
two have
bathing
to fight
suits."
to the death.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you don't, we're all going to be real bored. And then I'm going to come in there and kill you.
I just want to
At
be
that
like,
point, I go,
can you
okay.
do it?
oh, yeah.
Try
it.
Come on in. Yeah.
Right.
do,
because-
do anything, just something. That would be great.
Ray Liotta probably would be able to easily kill him.
Yes.
Yes.
In a fight.
He should have just been like, come on down.
Because the guy probably was a paper salesman from Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
This is the vibe you get from Walter, right? But no, Casey is just, first of all, when you're thigh deep in water and you try to run at somebody fast, it's always hilarious. It's like, "Whoa," but he's going so slow to actually get to him. And I'm like, why is Casey attacking him? You got to kill me, man. It's the only way for you to get out of
And
here.
he just basically throws himself on
He leaps onto the
the.
spear.
Yeah.
He's like, here, hold this. Whoa, and just jumps on it. And Ray's just
Just
so
the Navy
standing there.
SEAL goes, whoa, you really snuck up on me there.
He's like, oh, damn.
I wish I was trained in combat to avoid this unfortunate circumstance.
It's the water. It slowed me down.
He's such a well-trained killer. He's never been trained to not kill someone.
So even
guess
when
I
he
have
doesn't move, he kills someone.
Because I have to kill him. I don't know. You think, okay, they're going to let him go. Of course they're not going to let him go. They bring him up to a damn guillotine in another room they've got somewhere, right? And they leave him with one inept guard so he can escape, just like
Every
Austin
time.
Powers.
Every time.
I'll go get my gun. I'll come back here. We'll shoot him in the head, and it'll be over.
You made a horse's ass out of me, and I hate when that happens.
That's right.
I'm going to just assume that they're going to kill you now, and
Just assume
I
it
have
all went to
lots
plan.
to do.
That's right.
So much to do.
So they leave. They drop the guillotine, and the last second, you think Ray's going to be dead, but one of the guards blocks the blade.
That was, you couldn't do that if you tried. Like, I don't care how many times that guy's practicing. Like, Walter should have been like, why do you practice stopping the guillotine so much with your spear?
Like, I see you in here a lot doing it,
Kind
actually.
of concerning.
Well, just in case
What if
one
you
day
fell?
you fell and tripped and went and stuck your head in here, and I had to save you.
That checks out.
Because I'm in here 24/7.
That's all. You got me in the stupid guillotine.
The only room I ever
every
stay
single
in.
day. Every day.
You know how few people we kill with this thing?
We always put him in the pool with Ralph.
We've only used it once.
Well, now Ralph's dead. So
Now you want to use the guillotine. I see how it is.
I made this like 15 years ago,
That's
man.
right.
You know the rules. It's 2 temps in the pool. If the pool doesn't work 2 times, they come up to the
That gives you where you are. All right.
It's French,
It's
I don't know.
obviously because they had said earlier they've got their own mole in the Outsiders, and that's what this dude is. Looked like damn Taserface from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Okay.
So this mole has been there for years, they said, right?
Mole.
And
This guy.
Mole.
he's been eating human flesh as a mole. Do you know how dedicated you have to be to the cause? To be
Oh,
like,
yeah, bro.
I'll go eat some human rump
But after the,
This is fine. As long as I get to save someone in the guillotine someday.
man, I'm tired of eating ass over here. I just
And save
wanna,
clip.
Just want to go back. Go back. I used to have a sweet fade. Now I got all this hair.
Yeah.
My eyes all messed up.
This is just from pink eye.
Yeah.
So many farting on
Yeah,
pillows
Walter,
here.
Walter farted on my rock that I sleep on.
I love how after he's like, okay, you can go. They just cut to him getting back to the insider
Yeah,
camp.
like he just
Boy,
morphed
that was
there.
easy.
walked out of there.
Like,
Okay.
peace out.
Everybody went to bed right after they walked out of that room.
Yeah, they just gone.
Make sure all the guards go to sleep.
Yep, that's exactly it. Father is sick, though, guys.
Daddy.
Time to get the camp ready for attack because he's warning them, right? You have to warn them. What are we going to do? And they try to do their battle plan, right? Let's figure this out. Fill the moat with gasoline.
How much gas you got?
Yeah.
That washes on shore too?
Yeah,
You just scrape it off the top of the ocean, it floats.
that's right.
I mean, maybe.
The guy that makes the alcohol pee.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said, I'm going to make as much as I can and we'll fill it up.
So he's making gasoline and people are drinking it. Sounds safe.
Perfect.
Yeah, because it was the same. Like it
pure
was,
ethanol.
and the Molotov cocktail was also the same.
That's
color.
right.
It's all piss.
And it was separated. There was two different things in there. I don't know what that liquid was.
Blood.
Yeah.
Blood and
piss. and
piss.
Blood.
Yes.
Piss blood.
Piss blood.
Ultimately, Ray Liotta says, you're all dead. There's just no way in hell that you're going to survive. You have to abandon the compound. And, man, Hawkins gets pissed.
I've been here for 13 years. This is my home and my
Right.
fade.
I am not abandoning the only place with a barber shop
Yeah.
on this
I
island.
will look ridiculous.
It's not happening, man. And he just turns to
Daddy.
dis fart and says,
Oh.
finish the boat, right?
Yeah.
I got the V8 on
How
there.
close are you on the boat? I'm real close.
Real close.
Finish it.
What the you think I've been doing?
They fire up the V8. Like, oh, this boat's going to be freaking sick. But it's just looking at the fire shooting out of the thing, and he's just like, fire bad. Ugh.
I'm going to have another flashback, but we still don't understand why.
Bro, the Molotov would be the worst weapon to give this guy,
Yeah.
right? That should have played into it, I feel like. I don't know.
Maybe it's because he caused it.
Yeah, they're not going to see this engine on the heat sensors, I'll tell you that. That's for dang
Yeah,
sure.
no thermal activity at all.
We'll cover it. You know how gas engines are good in enclosed spaces?
Yeah, we'll cover it.
It's your cooling system. You'll
Everyone
be
dies
fine.
from monoxide poison, carbon.
You know how hot a V8's going to get in that little tub? Upside down tub?
I don't know what the plan with the
How
V8
fast
was.
do you think he's going to go?
Like, was the plan that the V8 was going to make you go so fast it
It's-
wouldn't have mattered?
They only need the V8 to power the fan to cool. They're pedaling to get out.
It just makes me think of Waterboy when she messes with his like boat and it just like goes whoosh, like right up onto the football field.
Yes. Oh, this is what happened. So I almost skipped over this because it's such a boring part of the movie. This is where everybody decides now is the time to share our backstories. So like Father tells his whole backstory to Ray to get him to, he wants him to stay and lead. Ray's like, I don't want to. I'm not taking your stupid journal either. Leaves. They go fire up, the stuff. They're getting ready for the bad guys. Then he comes back. All right, here's my backstory. It's we're at the end of the movie here, and now we're finally learning everything about all these guys.
Which could be smart. It could be smart if it was done
Sure.
a little bit better.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it could have worked.
Right.
Just
You see the bones of the story and how it should have been, and then it's like, and we did it wrong.
Bad guys show up and storm the base immediately, and they're like, there was no tip-off this time. Of course there's no tip-off. How hard would it be to figure out who the mole in the Outsiders is if you leave him in here to get guillotined, and the next day one of the guillotine guards is dead and the other one's not? I wonder who the mole is. So, of course, he goes out there and lifts the bag off the head on the spike or whatever, and they figured out who the traitor
Yeah.
was, I guess. They all run in.
why'd you let him go?
Quick, let's make a model head of his out of clay and we'll put it on a spike.
Make sure it has some substantial pink eye.
Yeah.
They all run in. The bad guys run into the very dead center of the camp, and there's no one there. And then they saw Ray run in there, and then they all come in. They stood around for so long.
That a pig took a piss.
Yeah, so long.
I know that was like why?
No one's saying a word. They're just looking around until finally They all just start laughing. They all start laughing, and then out of nowhere you finally hear them go, Merrick! And up on the tower is Ray Liotta, right? Come get some. You know, you want it, come and get it, I think is what he tells him, right? And so they all start to rush.
Well, what he could have done is just shot the gun.
Yeah. Yeah. But he wants him to know
Yeah, I guess.
No.
that it's him.
Bring attention to yourself.
But he's going to be dead.
Yeah.
But I want him to know.
That's right.
I want him to know he's about to die.
So they run up the stairs, and he pulls out the weapon from the tower that he originally took from Walter at the very beginning of the movie.
And he fixed for 15 seconds.
And he's like, all you got to do is wrap some twine around the capacitors in this thing, and it's good to go, whatever it is.
Take some corn husks.
Yeah, corn husks.
Oil it up.
You stand off the machine, and it'll flip or flop.
That thing will fire right up.
You know he's special forces, right?
Take the schleem and you put it over the flurb.
Blows the crap out of the whole army.
It's a one-handed rocket launcher.
Yeah, it's a grenade launcher.
But this thing
Yeah.
does a
And yet-
lot of damage.
3 city blocks worth of damage.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
like, I know.
and yet a lot of them survive.
I'll get them all
Somehow.
in the city and blow the whole city up instead
Right.
of shooting it at them when they're outside the city and not having all the buildings blow up.
Yeah.
I'm not sacrificing this place. Oh, but you are.
This is I know I've done that, like I feel like I've done that 4 times. I never just sigh and pause on this show. But I'm just like, this movie is like,
There's
it's such a slog.
There's no flow to it at
No.
all. It's just like one thing happens, and then another thing happens, and that might not even be related to the previous thing that happened, but it happened anyway.
It cuts back to the prison. He's like, fuel the chopper. That was a huge heat signature that just happened out there, right? The warden's like, fuel the chopper and get over there.
And like, what does it even
I'm
mean?
coming with this guy in the suit is going to go.
Why?
Who knows? They chase him.
Why?
They chase off the this
No
is the
reason.
thing. Then all of the insiders come in and chase off whoever survived the blast, right?
Which
then there's
who
I don't know.
Who
There's
would
at
have
least
survived
maybe
that blast?
A couple stragglers on the outside, but my point is once they all chase him off, they do this wide shot of the camp, and there's not a body anywhere, not one. There should be 70 bodies
They disintegrated.
on the ground.
On the spot.
Yeah,
It's
just-
just-
They ate him real quick.
That's what
They're very hungry.
Yeah.
Walter, out of nowhere, is still alive, stabs Skull. He's like father's bodyguard. Now he's going to get father, right? But good guy always comes to the rescue because here's Ray Liotta. Boom, right? Well, actually, no, father's not there yet. It's Skull that goes down first. Sorry, Ray Liotta's up there. They start to fight and fist fight on top of this tower. And this is a major trope. Good guys in these fights always end up dangling from the edge of something.
Yeah.
Every time. It happens in I don't know how many countless
Scar, brother,
right? With then
help me.
with then the bad guy standing over him, right? Going,
Yep.
and gonna
Die.
step on your hands or whatever. And he's got the blade up to his neck or whatever. And this is when father shows up to then grab onto Merrick. And he's weak and sick and ends up just getting stabbed himself. But he buys Ray Liotta enough time to get up off the ledge and get back on there. And then he just literally punches Walter off the tower and onto a spike. It's like a Mortal Kombat stage fatality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom, done.
Into water.
Into the water.
More water, more
Right.
random water that
Let's
we don't
build our
understand.
Let's build our outlook tower right next to this water. I'm sure it never rises when it rains.
That's right. Never.
No wonder they have trench foot.
They didn't even know those spikes were there. The water had just gone down enough. They're like, oh, whoa, look at those. Don't fall.
They go run to the boat, and the boat has been blown up, and Disfart is killed. Okay, he's been stabbed,
But
and they're like, "Oh my gosh, the freaking mole that we knew, somebody was narking on us, right?" Chubbs, like they just all come to the realization at the same time.
he finds
The
the
cross.
cross, so that's how they know.
Yeah. And let me, this is just like a public service announcement, right? Everyone out there, if you're ever in this, prison type scenario, like a Walking Dead type village, and there's a mole, and there is one guy who seems to be getting airdropped dominoes pretty much every week. That's probably the guy
Probably
that's
him.
turned his back on you. The only fat guy in the
He
whole
uses
place.
to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The one
a
that's
great
hiding
point.
KFC buckets under his
Right.
bed.
That's a good point.
Another great point. I didn't even think about that. What's he snacking on over there? Man.
It's a thyroid problem.
They run and find Chubbs. They beat the truth out of him and take his, freaking radio, and they're like, tell him to land in a different spot. The chopper's coming in, right?
He's like, you guys can't fly over there anymore. Like,
the
no, you
warden.
don't sound suspicious at all.
Yeah. Calls the warden, gives him new coordinates. The chopper lands to pick up Chubbs. Chubbs is standing out there in the middle of this field, right? And like, get down there and pick him up, the warden says. And as soon as the chopper lands, 4 guards get out and fan out. All of them, in looking in all 4 directions, not one of them sees the person that ultimately kills them. Right? One person comes out of the ground, another person comes from off camera
Those
to kill
helmets.
another one. You can't see
They can't
crap in
see
those.
with those
dude.
things
It's
on.
like Resident Evil
Yeah.
all over again. Why do we have to wear these stupid things?
I can't see, sir, but you look so cool.
I know. They all get killed. The warden tries to shut the door. In fact, he does shut the door, and Ray just opens it again, like it's not locked, I guess. Jumps in the plane, grabs his gun, and puts it to his head, a callback to what happened in the cell. Starts counting to 5. Okay.
And you're like, why that callback?
Yeah.
Have him turn yours back to you.
That or something, right?
So you can say, I told you, never turn your back.
Right.
on me
He
again."
he closes the door and walks up to the cockpit, and Ray gets on anyway behind him. He goes, I told you never to turn.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
Some
That
kind
would've
of
been way
moment,
better.
right?
That would have been
Oh,
good.
so much.
No, he just tackles Chubbs or this is different Chubbs to the ground, holds the counts to 5, and then just yeets him off the freaking helicopter, and they all get on and take off. And now, within minutes, the other outsiders, I guess, that didn't come to this raid, have surrounded the 2 of them.
And where are all the rats?
They had PTO.
Yeah,
that
they
day.
forgot to. They got this on the chopper. They're going to find those in a minute. They
Yeah.
forgot to dump those out.
Oh, oops.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we don't ever see them get killed. What we do see is the chopper flying over the insider base, just be like, sucks to suck.
Yeah, bye.
Bye, guys.
I'm
We're outta
still
here.
not telling.
That's right.
Oh, and then just like smiles. Like he looks back, and the guy who's making the distillery stuff is like
Yeah.
taking sips of his
Right. Piss
cocktail.
water. Yeah.
You just want it to like pause and be like the end of one of those movies, like, oh, and this guy went on to build
Yeah.
this. And
Well, and
He
also,
went on to drink 3 more piss waters before dying.
So I guess
Dysentery.
Winston's in charge of the camp now.
Yeah.
Is the inference?
doesn't he explicitly say that he doesn't know how to fly a helicopter in this movie?
No, Ray says that he knows how, and then whatever the young guy Casey is like, you know how to fly a helicopter? No, actually, he says no. I know how to
he says,
read.
no, I don't. I know how to read.
but when he explains his backstory,
Right.
it was a helicopter mission. He was flying the helicopter.
He's played a lot of Call of Duty, so
Anyway, that's the end of the movie.
thank God.
Man, oh man, is there any way to make this movie better?
No.
Can we try? Is it possible? Is it possible?
Let's try.
Is there a way we could cast this film to make? I know the cast was pretty impressive, right? We had some really top names in here.
You know about the cast. What's interesting is everyone seemed to act on a similar level,
Okay.
so it wasn't good acting for what these what these actors are capable of, but they all were on the same baseline, which almost helped.
Right.
So putting Arnold in,
It was just
Would still
all
be better,
mediocre.
yeah,
Right.
it's weird because
It's
it
better than having
actually
one
almost
really
was
good
better, yeah, than having one person that was just like outstanding. You know?
Yes.
It's
Like
not
in,
but it was so bad though that it was like
Yeah.
everybody's bad.
That's it.
It's just
Yeah.
like that's why
Just lackluster.
You walk in and you go like, I don't know how I feel because it wasn't so awful at acting that you're like, oh, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so great that you're like, well, this is
Well, what if we put Arnold Schwarzenegger in this movie?
well. Then the acting.
What
Then you would have 13 ghosts, and people would be like, Arnold was overacting.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true. I mean,
But Arnold should have been.
hello, welcome to my camp. My name is Fada.
You want to swim in the pool?
Fada? No, it's Fada.
Yo, Dad. Dad is father.
That's right.
You want a crepe? Crepe in the bank.
This is
Cigar and waffle.
now I'm doing Gold Member. Okay.
My
I
skin
should
is
have been in that
peeling.
movie too. Why do you not cast me as Gold Member? Would you like a smoke and a pancake? Huh?
Cigar and a waffle.
See. Yes, you can tell
Long in a bloom.
you are a swinger, yes? I can tell by your tight pants. That's what I.
Toy.
No, yeah.
Like a toiga.
It's very tied like a tiger. Enjoy them very much. No, I mean, father, I think, would be the perfect place to put Arnold, right? Because he's like the pacifist, but also he can kind of fight.
And you would
how do
follow
you-
that guy. You would follow him.
Yeah.
For sure, 100%.
But how do you have him be sick, right?
Yeah.
And then get
that's-
killed? Like, that's not happening.
My name is Hawkins. I'm the head of security, but I don't really do anything. You can't have him be that
Nope.
guy.
Yeah. Plus, they would never attack again.
Right? No, I never would.
Well, they used to come 3-4 times a year.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him in 4.
But ever since we made this guy the head of security, they don't attack anymore.
You could have him be
Disfart?
Stefano.
Oh, Stefano.
I've got 4 packs of underwear here.
I want your shoes.
Give me your shoes,
I want your shoes. What size
your
are
coat, and your motorcycle. That's right. Or your boat. That's what he wants.
Yes.
I want your shoes, your boat, and your chopper. Get out of here. We got Ruben Tiemens playing along, and he says Arnold as Robbins would make this movie from a 6.1 to at least a 7.1. I imagine he'd play it like a mix of Dutch from Predator and Jericho Kane from End of Days, but you could also put him in as Merrick. Just picture Arnold hamming it up as the villain in this kind of setting. Imagine the one-liners. Don't lose your head.
Yeah.
Okay?
He could
That's
do
hilarious. Be so stupid, but like in a good way.
But like in a good way.
In a good way.
Unlike this movie.
Shad Radical playing along with us, and he says Arnold is the bad guy. Maybe he'll make the one-liners work and give the movie a decent antagonist. Yeah, the line, that's the problem I think with Walter is the one-liners didn't work. He's like saying these things I think are meant to be buttons on scenes, right? And they just listen. Here's the game we're going to play. It's great. It's not shuffleboard. Instead, it's 5 minutes in the pool with Ralph.
I'm Ralph.
I'm Ralph. All right. We also have Mitch Wilkerson playing along with us, and he says he'd make the movie better by being the father. Yes, thank you, Mitch. The confrontation when Merrick snuck into his room during the fight would be gold. I imagine it'd be like the scene from Happy Gilmore where Shooter realizes his ball is on the giant man's foot. Okay, father, time to die. Oh, my God. Oh, no, in this case, it'd be the other way. Yeah. I thought you were a weak old man. Arnold would then proceed to destroy him and his scarred up red-headed bodyguard. Yeah, no, I like that one too. Andy P. Jack's playing along, and he says Arnold would have been a great addition to this movie as father. Yes. Normally I would have said Merrick, but his charisma would have brought more gravitas as father, making the leader more powerful. You guys are all on the right track here. Billy Gertson says he's got to be Robbins. Yes, Ray Liotta fit well for this role, but Arnold's even better because it would fit him perfectly. He would just have to give him some more one-liners since Ray Liotta didn't have many. Plus, I would love to hear him say the line, "You looking for a friend? I'm the best friend you ever had." Even that, I think the movie script was so weak. There's not really anything that works as a one-liner. Even for Arnold, what's he going to say? If you want it, come and get it. Like at the end, that's about it. Yeah.
You'd have to rework the script a lot.
A lot, right?
But Arnold, it would have made a lot more sense of like, we've never had someone escape from Merrick. And Arnold's like, well, I'm here.
That's right. And finally, Marco, the guy who went full Dudikoff for this one, says, man, I love Ray Liotta in this. He does a great job, but you cast Arnie as Robbins. This is an Arnie all-timer. Banter about water sports with Merrick, action scenes, and some one-liners. Sign me up. All right, I think we know what Marco thinks of this movie.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, buddy. All right. Well, let's actually do some awards. How about that? We'll get started with the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
Oh, Gloss, I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
What are you doing with a gun in space?
Yeah. All right, guys. There was some intensity in this movie, I think, somewhere. So we'll see what Ruben Tiemens said. He says Stuart Wilson as Merrick. This is a no-doubter in a movie that is not starved for choices. He was my pick the instant he walked on screen, and I had him locked in by the end of his first scene. He just kept getting better and better to the point where I almost wanted him to win. This is a walk-off grand slam to the second deck, deep center field, going, long, gone with a flip of a bat, no doubt about it. Wow. Strong words, Ruben.
Strong words.
Steph, where are you coming down on this thing?
Well, I don't quite share the enthusiasm, but I also am going with Stuart Wilson. I liked his character, actually. I thought his quips worked for him. I found myself just laughing at his one-liners, and like I thought his kind of nonchalantness, it just, in my opinion, it worked, and he was definitely my favorite character.
Really?
So, yeah. So I don't know. I have to go with him.
A second vote for Merrick.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll see how the rest of this shakes out. Shad Radical said, goes to Ian McNeese as Tom King. He was the only one that made me believe his acting for being a hypochondriac and being a sneaky snake. He nailed it.
Sneaky snake.
Brian.
All right. I'm going to echo Stephanie a little bit. And it's not that I liked his character. I think the character was off. I think he needed another level so that you believed that he was the leader of this deadly cannibalistic gang. He needed that roughness, that hard edge to him more. But I still think in terms of intensity, he brought a ton to what he was given and was pretty intense the whole way through.
All right. Fair enough. Mitchell Wilkerson said Kevin Dillon as Casey. Dude was definitely intense as the scared kid. There weren't a lot of choices for this, honestly. Only other choice for some of the background characters that made mean faces. Wow.
Casey
Mitch,
was my
love
second
it.
choice.
All right. Fair enough. Dr. Mattila.
I went with David Argue, who was the cellmate.
You know, that's a good choice.
The cracked out dude from the beginning?
Yeah, I believed him. He was intense.
He was.
They're in the walls, man.
Yeah. They have the freaking DSL cable hooked straight into the back of my neck. Look. That joke would have been much better if I hadn't tripped
It's
over what the hell
2022. It's an HDMI.
It's an HDMI. Oh my gosh. All right. Andy P. Jack says Stuart Wilson as Merrick 100% represents Will Patton proudly. He was able to create fear, terror with any of his mannerisms, change in vocal tones and witty lines. Remembering him in Lethal Weapon 3 and Zorro, just like we said, man, he should have been a villain in many more movies. So it looks like this is going a certain way here. We even got Bill Gerson coming in saying, after my first watch, I was going to give this to Stuart Wilson, but upon my second watch, I changed my mind. I'm giving it to Ray Liotta. With his quiet intensity throughout the film, I really believed he was a badass soldier. And when he raised his voice or got angry, his intensity became even more apparent. Wow. Ray Liotta. Who would pick Ray Liotta for this award?
He would.
Me.
Really?
I'm picking Ray Liotta for this. Yeah, guys, that PTSD scene when they're watching the funeral pyre, grabbing Casey, like, you ever killed somebody before? You want to be my friend? You'll be the best friend you ever had, right? All that stuff. I mean, I thought he was very intense.
Wow.
In this movie.
I didn't get that.
Oh, yeah.
I like him, too.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like I was being like, oh, I hate Ray.
I thought Ray Liotta was way
bad.
more intense than the paper salesman that was the bad guy in the other camp.
I didn't think anyone was intense except the cellmate.
Fair enough. Well, it looks like Stuart Wilson's going to win anyway. But we got Marco here with the final call. He says Stuart Wilson as Merrick. Yep, this guy brings it in every film he's in, and this one he gives an all-time memorable, intense performance. I just must have been out to lunch. I don't know. That's fine.
I think you were just angry about the character choices.
Yeah.
And that's
so
fine.
no matter how intense he was, you're
I
just
don't
like,
care.
This is wrong.
I like Stuart Wilson. I'm glad he just wins the Will Patton Award. Congrats. I like him as an actor. I really do.
He's much better in a Lethal Weapon 3.
Yes.
Where he plays, a sleazy, weaselly kind of bad guy.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. All right, let's get on to the next award, which is for the worst acting performance in the movie. It's the Steven Seagal Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
All right, you know what was a long time? Watching this movie.
Yep.
I paused it at 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
And I was like, how is there an hour and 45 minutes left of this?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Dude, for real.
Exactly, dude. All right, Ruben Tiemann says, Trash Can, this one's tough because I didn't think anyone was really bad in this movie. I thought about Kevin Dillon as Casey, but he did fine with what he was given. It was the character who was a useless, tropey sack of uselessness. I'll plant my flag with Ray Liotta as Robbins. Didn't think he was terrible, but he was wooden in a number of scenes and overacted in others. Plus, he just seems miscast. and it stuck out. Again, imagine Arnold in the role, or even JCVD. Honorable mention goes to Jerry Lewis in Slapstick of Another Kind. Yeah, no, that's fair. Steph, trash can somebody.
I'm trash canning Ray Liotta. I agree with all of that. I couldn't lock down what kind of personality he was supposed to have. Like, was he the stoic, strong guy? Was he the intense guy? Was he the scared guy? Well, I don't know what he was trying to do. It never came across for me. I didn't enjoy his performance. I like Ray Liotta, just not in this.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Shad Radical also said goes to Ray Liotta. I love him as an actor, but for 95% of this movie, he's a soggy cardboard trash can full of wet dirt. I just didn't care. That's 3 votes for Ray Liotta.
Right out of the gate.
Brian.
I apologize because there's a lot of times when I do these awards and I kind of just throw out such a random thing that it's sort of like, okay, great, thanks for talking. But I'm going to give it to Ralph, the guy, the aquatics instructor.
Yes.
Because he only had a few seconds on screen, but it was like, man, you overdid it, dude.
Yes.
You're
hardcore.
He just, the one side grimace face. It's a bit of a throwaway, but I'm giving it to Ralph.
No, it's not a throwaway.
That's fair.
That's how you feel.
It's a good choice.
Good choice here. All right. Mitch Wilkerson says also Kevin Dillon as Casey. So he gave him his Will Patton and his trash can. A rare double award. He may have been trying really hard, but that doesn't make it good. I just thought his performance sucked. Plain and simple. Thought he sucked when I was 9. I still think he sucks at 39. All right. There we go. Mattila?
Tell us how you really feel.
So I was going to give it to Ray, but
I brought you around to Ralph.
the PTSD scene did. I had him written down, and then I had someone else written down next to it, and I was like, I don't know. I hit the PTSD scene, and I was like, okay, this is enough so that he's not the trash can.
All right. Fair enough.
I went with father.
Lance Hendrickson?
Yes. I thought he was the soggy cardboard dude. You love characters that suck ass.
I don't love I don't love that character. I love that actor.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say,
Father sucked.
it reminded me of
Every time he was on screen, I wanted to take a nap.
Yeah, it reminded me of how bad Centauri is in The Last Starfighter.
Now you shut your damn mouth because Centauri was
so
awesome.
obnoxious.
He was great.
And this guy was the opposite of just like, I'm really intense and have wise words of wisdom.
Oh, yeah.
Then
A pebble falls in your shoe and it sticks, and then you say, ow.
And then your sock is wet.
Think on these things.
Andy P. Jack says,
I have cancer.
This is a tough choice between Kevin Dillon as Casey or Lance Hendrickson as the father. Kevin was still young at the time, so I'm going to say it was Lance Hendrickson. Other than that one scene, he did not display any of his range or charisma as in other films like Hard Target, the Millennium series, or other roles. He definitely needed more to work with. So we got 2 more patrons, but I'm also going Lance Hendrickson, which ties Ray Liotta now for 3 votes.
Oh, boy.
Because I love Lance Hendrickson. Bishop in Aliens is one of my favorite characters of all time.
I haven't seen it yet.
All right.
Because you told me not to.
Till we do it on Good Movies Rule,
Yes.
which is why people need to vote in Aliens.
Please.
Next time it's on, so we can freaking get to it. Or we did Aliens. We did the first
We did
Aliens.
Alien.
Yes. We haven't done Aliens yet. All right.
Yes.
Next time that's on, vote it in, peoples. So it's 3-3 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it is. Okay.
Might come down to you, Brian.
We'll see.
No.
What Billy Gertzen says, I imagine people will want to pick Kevin Dillon as Casey, but I will be not picking him. Was he my least favorite character? Yes. Was he a dumbass who got himself killed? Yes. But for this, the worst actor was not him. Instead, it goes to Stuart Wilson as Merrick. Wow, Bill. I love it. I love going off the board like that. Let's plant that flag,
This is one of those movies. It's so mediocre. We just jump around.
It is.
That's the thing. Like, we talked about it. It's like nothing was so great, nothing was so bad.
Yeah.
Just like, so I get it. I get all these.
Marco says, hard one. I love this cast, but I have to plant my flag. I'll go Brian M. Logan as Scab. A small part, but he didn't do it for me in his scenes, which means there is one person at the table that didn't vote for one of the tied parties, and that's Brian, which means now if you had to pick between Father and Ray Liotta's character, who gave a worse acting performance? No pressure.
Right, and it has to be just based on acting, right? Because
Yes. It's not like which
The
character
script
sucked
can't
more.
be part of it. And it has to be what they did with what they had, right?
Yeah.
then I almost have to go Ray Liotta because I feel like the character, the character that Lance was given is that character.
That's fair.
That's what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to be like, they're having this huge party and they go, no, quiet down. He has to talk. And then it's like,
I know.
the
I feel
party
he still
killer.
sucked the life out of it even more than he needed.
But like, think about the general from White Christmas. He plays that part, but he does it in a way that he has this like presence to him, and I just touched the camera, sorry. But he like has this presence. He has this like, you feel it, right? He has charisma. And he doesn't have to be like yelling at people, whatever.
Right. And it doesn't have to be one note to be that character.
That's
I
true.
get it.
So,
but there are things with Ray Liotta that did bother me.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going to lean that way, especially like that first line. Don't turn your back on me. He said that in a way that it was supposed to be a callback later.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That means Ray Liotta's going to win the Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Congratulations, sir.
Awesome.
What's funny is I was also on him for Most Intense. It was between him and Merrick. And
But intensity doesn't equal good acting.
These things happen. What are you going to do? We do have an Unsung Hero Award coming up, though, and we're going to do that right now. Get ready for the Steve James Award.
You know, every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right? Then there are those few who are. Are you some kind of a badass karate boy?
All right, let's get this thing kicked off. Ruben Tiemann says, hey, another tough one, as there weren't a lot of small, outstanding roles. Almost all of them are supporting or major. If the father had died at the halfway point, it would have been him, because Lance Hendrickson is awesome in everything he does. Well, he didn't just hear this last conversation before he wrote this. As it is, I nominate Don Henderson as Killian, a.k.a. General Taggy from Star Wars A New Hope. He was fun to watch in his few scenes and classed up the joint along with the other veteran British actors. Who was Killian?
I don't know who that is.
I saw that Kevin Tagg, or is that his name? General Tagg, was in it, Don Henderson, but I couldn't figure out who he was in the movie.
Okay.
The movie.
Cool. So that guy, but I don't know who you're talking about. Steph, who's your unsung hero?
I am going with Skull, the guy who played Skull.
Ooh.
I liked him, and he...
That's a good pick.
Yeah, he was protective, and he did his job well, and
Didn't
even
have
when
any
he
lines.
He didn't have any lines, but he basically saved Father at one point, and then he was faking it on the ground and be like, no, hold on, like I got a plan, so I really liked him, and I'm glad that he made it through the movie.
I love it.
It's a good pick.
We got Shad Radical here, and he says Steve James goes to Dominic Bianco as Ralph, the lifeguard. Dude was given 15 seconds of screen time. Between him licking his sword to falling into the water, he was the only person that made me feel anything when they died. Oh, pour one out for Ralph. We've got 3 separate votes now. Good
old Ralph.
Brian, who you got?
Oh, man, I'm between like 4 of them here, but I think I'm going to go with the man with the crotch bread oven.
Cellmate.
The cellmate.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the cellmate. I thought he was really great. He did a great job for the little bit of screen time that he had.
Yeah.
Believed he was getting electrocuted.
Sure.
Yeah, a small role, and I thought I could have done more with that guy.
All right.
In fact, we could have stopped the movie around after his scene.
That'd have been fantastic.
And that would have been all right.
Would have been good.
That's a wrap.
Absolutely. Mitch Wilkerson says, look, it's Ian McNeice. Love this guy. He's the king of, I've seen that guy in a lot of movies and I have no idea who he is. He always plays an odd side role and he always knocks it out of the park. This movie was no different. I liked him as the flowery hypochondriac turned traitor. All right, that's a vote for Ian McNeice. And I do like down here, he goes, for the Hot Babe Award, there were no hot babes in this, so I'm just going to assume Steph or Nicole are sitting on this episode and give the award to Ernie Hudson. Enjoy. Nice.
I mean...
Ouch.
Nice. He also gave a Thomas Award to Alan Cameron as the production designer. He thought the set on the islands all looked great. I thought that was both camps, the outsiders and the insiders, like he says, top notch, so I want to give those out as well.
Lots of cool specific stuff on the set.
Yes.
Like where they're making their own thread and stuff like that. Like, it's really detailed.
Somebody put time into that for sure. So good shout out for him. Mattila, who you got for your Unsung Hero Award?
So I went with Kevin O'Connor as the Benny.
Stefano.
Yeah, I thought he did good. I thought he's fine.
Not one person has gotten a second vote yet.
Do you want me to pick someone else?
No. I love that. We got 4 more people to vote still.
Okay.
So we're good. I like that as a good pick. Andy P. Jack said Michael Lerner as the warden. Still new people. He was able to capitalize with every scene with a cruel but calm demeanor. With every word, while few, he shows he was a ruthless a-hole. All right, Andy, that's a good pick, man.
Good pick.
Oh, and he's in Godzilla.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Matthew
he is.
Broderick one.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
He's the mayor.
Billy Gerson. Yeah. Billy Gerson comes in and says, Kevin O'Connor as Stefano. I love this guy in every movie I've seen him in. I was pumped the moment I saw him, and I enjoyed every scene he was in. I really want to know what he did to get sent to Absalom. Yeah. I also wanted some more scenes with him trying to make deals with people. He also was my second choice for where Arnold would go. Nobody would turn down any of his deals for fear of their life if Arnold was in that spot.
It's true.
Make a deal with me now. Yeah. Okay.
It's over.
I think
my boots.
Kevin O'Connor probably also stole all of the bad teeth makeup.
Yes. That's why no one else
put all on his teeth.
I was going to go with Kevin O'Connor. I thought I was going to be the second vote, but Bill Gerson jumped in front of me. That's a third vote for Kevin. The second I saw him, I was like, Benny! Like, I was so happy he was there.
Very excited.
It was
for
a
him.
nothing role that he actually seemed to have a character. And what do you have, 3-4 scenes?
I believed he continued existing when he wasn't on screen.
Yes, exactly. So, and then Marco comes in and says, Ernie Hudson as Hawkins. A few good contenders for this award, but Ernie is fantastic in a few scenes. I always enjoy seeing him pop up in things like this. Great vote there, but ultimately Kevin O'Connor is going to win the Steve James Unsung Hero Award. Nice job. Kevin J. O'Connor, I should say. I'll make sure I don't, take away his middle initial he likes to have in there. I just wish he was in more stuff in general. I don't ever see him that often in things. Maybe I'm not watching the right movies and shows. But more of him, please.
I've often wondered why he isn't in more.
Right, exactly. Well, guys.
Miss Congeniality.
Oh,
Who's
is he in there?
that?
He's the captain, isn't he?
Oh, I've never seen the movie.
Am I thinking of the right person?
No, you're not.
Maybe not.
Oh, just kidding.
The time has come to render our final judgment and to slam the gavel down on the table and say, hey, subjectively, objectively, is it a good or bad movie? And how did we feel about it? Did we enjoy it? Did we not? We've got our 4-point scale. Bad movie that rules. Good movie that sucks. And here we're going to jump into it right now with Ruben Tiemens. He says it has problems and continuity errors, but overall, this is a good movie. I see each rating as having its own spectrum, and this is on the low end, but made it. This movie isn't just mindless action with gunfire and explosions. There's a compelling story to it. The characters felt relatable, and the movie left me with something to think about. I also like the aesthetic and color palette, which reminds me of Stargate. Yeah, one of his favorite TV shows growing up. This was a fun one, and I really enjoyed it. He also wants to rename the Rain Award in Stuart Wilson's honor. We're not doing that, but I appreciate the attempt, Ruben. He's a handsome man. Steph, isn't he a handsome man? Merrick with the 4 piercings through his nose.
I kind of like those piercings. I'm not going to lie. I thought they looked cool.
All right.
He looked like friggin' what's his face from Battlefield Earth.
So we're going to be able to get Farrell to get a few of those in his nose?
Yeah.
I mean, don't knock it till you try it.
All right. See what's up. Nice.
This movie. Okay. I felt like I watched 2 hours of nothing.
Yeah.
Like it just, nothing really substantial happened, but also did. And then the story just was choppy, and 1 minute we're doing something, the next minute we're doing something else. I didn't understand Ray Liotta's character really until the very end. I couldn't believe this movie was 2 hours long. I did not enjoy it as much as some. And I am definitely voting this bad movie.
Straight up.
Bad. Wow. This is a bad movie. I did not like it. I will never watch it again.
All right. Shad Radical says bad movie straight up.
I thought I was going to be the only one, and I was nervous.
But if binging the podcast for 2 months has taught me anything, is that 9 times out of 10, a true BMR is a movie you would want to watch again. And I will never want to watch this again.
Yes, that.
The story makes no sense. It's too damn long. The ending was terrible, and I just didn't care. 2 out of 10, bad.
Thank you.
Wow.
Exactly how I feel.
Chad and Stephanie in lockstep.
Reiterated.
Brian, you have the floor.
Yeah, 3 Musketeers here, man. But here's the thing: is it was really close for me. I'm teetering back and forth. I hear the first thing and I go, yeah, that's kind of. And I hear people saying it's bad. I go, oh yeah, that's kind of. And I really didn't know which way I was going to go, even driving here tonight. And
well, I'm just going to push you off the ledge.
Talking about it though, there's just certain things that just make me mad. Like the text before the movie that sets me up for a different movie than they gave me.
Right.
And there's also just other things. And it did seem long. The rewatch I did today, I remember going, oh, yeah, we still have to do all of that nonsense?
Yep.
I felt like we were almost close. Yeah. I'm gonna just plant my flag on bad movie because I also agree not going to watch again. Probably.
Okay. That's totally valid. And Mitchell Wilkerson, I think, is going to join you if I remember his rewards correctly. My dad definitely belonged to the divorced dad taking his 9-year-old to see R-rated movies in the 80s and 90s club. That was a club?
Yeah, they had jackets and everything.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
We enjoyed this movie together since release, and I've seen it well into the teens. Childhood Mitchell would tell you this is a good movie, full stop, but current Mitchell knows better and can take the nostalgia goggles off. This is 100% a bad movie that rules. The plot makes very little sense. What's the point of getting off the island and exposing the truth if you're just going to be put back into a level 6 maximum security prison? Or like you still killed a guy, right? You're still just going back
and
to
actually
prison.
a few at this point.
Right.
Killed quite a few people.
At least on the island, you get a little bit of a life. The pacing is off, and the acting performances from some great actors is lacking. However, there is more enough to make this movie awesome. The double arrow kill, the insider's camp, badass Ernie Hudson. God, see, a couple people have shouted him out in this. He doesn't do anything.
He almost seems misplaced.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Good awards there, Mitch. And I thought you were going to go bad movie, but we got our first BMR, I think, right? People either have been good or bad so far. Andy P. Jacks jumps in and he says, this reminds me of those late night B movies at a 90s video store or late night HBO Cinemax like Cyborg 2, Trancers, etc. He compared this to Trancers. It's good, cheap fun. It's a bad movie that rules 100%. Andy, all right, second BMR in a row. Mattila, the floor is yours, sir.
The thing I'm having a hard time with is
this movie.
It's not... It's not on the same place as something like Trancers where you can kind of, like, they were trying to make it really serious. And
I don't think this was meant to be tongue-in-cheek.
It looked like they were trying to do, like, Robin Hood level stuff, right? Like, if you look at the costume designs and everything, I think there's a bad movie that rules in it if you were to edit it down to about 87 minutes. So I think with editing, it could be salvageable.
Yeah.
I think how it is, though, I agree. Like 2 hours is a lot of time to invest.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say bad movie, full stop.
Wow. All three panelists so far here on the show.
It is. I agree with you, though. It's close. It's like there's stuff in it.
It's close.
Yeah.
But I really do. Exactly. I really do. I chalk it up to like, am I going to watch this movie again? Would I choose to sit down and watch this movie again? And it's like, I would watch Ninja 3 again.
Yeah.
Way before I ever decided to put this frickin' movie back on.
Part of that too, like even like, would I tell a friend to watch it so we could have a discussion over dinner?
Surely not.
No, I'd be like,
I don't want to be your friend then if you're going to tell me to watch this movie.
Come to dinner and watch No Escape before you get here.
Yeah.
By the way, we're going to eat in a dungeon.
That's right. Final rating from Bill Gerson here. I'm just going to say it right up front. How on earth has this movie scored low enough to get on this show? We should be talking about it on Good Movies Rule. Ray Liotta was great as the protagonist, and even though Stuart Wilson got my trash can, he's still entertaining. Lance Hendrickson, Ernie Hudson, most of the supporting actor performances are also solid. Yes, that does include Casey. All of the action scenes are done very well, and dare I say it, as some of my favorite kills I've ever seen in any action movie. If you were trying to tell me that the flaming arrow through the mouth kill or the double kill with the arrow was not awesome, I will call you a liar. So yeah, this is a good movie that rules.
Whoa,
Bill, both of those were awesome. Those were like water in the desert. I was like, yes, more. Those were. I would never say those weren't bad.
More death.
Wow, another good movie from a patron here. All right, I'll let Marco have the final word since he's the reason that we're here, right? And here's what I'll say. There's so much well done in this movie, and there's so much that just it doesn't work.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
I think we're all kind of saying the same thing. I think I'm landing in a different place than all of you because I'm not going to say bad movie straight up. I think that this is a good movie that sucks.
I knew you were going to say that.
I do, though. I legitimately do. I like great actors, a lot of great performances. I like the story. It wasn't executed, but like I was intrigued by what was happening. I wanted to find out what happened at the end. Like I at least wanted to how are they going to get out of this?
The set designs were fine.
Incredible.
Like, they're good, really good.
Really good stuff. And then at the end, I just said, I never want to see this again.
Yeah.
But I also want to give props for the craftsmanship and some of the stuff that they did that was at least really well, but I would never watch it again.
Yeah.
So good movie. I think objectively people could watch this, obviously, as we see from people and say this is good, but it sucks to me. So
That's fair.
Yeah, I
that's
get it.
fair.
You know?
Yeah.
I said I was kind of
makes
there on the
sense.
drive here and going, I might be.
That's why I honestly didn't have a vote coming in here today.
Right,
Like
I
I
believe
really
it.
wasn't sure. I was just, I have to think about this, and the discussion helped. And I just was literally like, I had to spend 2 hours of my life watching this, and now I have to spend 2 hours of my life talking about it. And you know what? I don't want to do it again.
I'm
You know
sorry.
what pushed us over the edge was all your sighs. Where are we now?
You know that I'm so into this movie. I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh, James's sighs are right. This is
next?
bad.
Marco, doesn't mean we don't appreciate that you did this, man. And if you're gonna pull another one, I can't wait to see what it's gonna be because I had fun discussing it.
Yes.
And look, the final rating from Marco, no surprise here. Good movie that rules. This was an 11 p.m. film staple in the UK on the 4 channels we had in the 90s. Great cast, story, and director. Just a great, underrated flick. Thanks for letting me pick this as my first full Dudikoff. Cheers, Marco. Marco, thank you, sir, for doing this.
Thanks, Mark.
We
Thanks,
appreciate
Marco.
you, man. And
We're all masochists, so we enjoy it.
At least 4 out of the 6. I think the patrons went 4 good movies, 2 BMRs. No one, or maybe one person said bad straight up. I don't know. I lost count. The point is overwhelmingly positive from the patrons and overwhelmingly negative from the panelists. I don't know the last time this happened where it was so cut and dry between the two. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's going to happen next week? I have no idea. I never know how this is going to go. I remember watching the trailer for this. It goes for No Escape. I'm going, oh, this looks like good, stupid, dumb fun, right? And then it just wasn't.
Yep.
No, between the setup with the text and the way the movie starts, and even the poster is all digitalized. It's
Right.
like, yeah,
Right.
8-bit almost.
8-bit.
And
At the very least, I'm expecting Escape from New York.
something,
Right.
yeah.
Well, yeah, like why even base it in 2022 if you're just going
Be on
to
an
base
island.
it on an island the whole time
Be
where they
anytime.
don't have any technology or anything?
Just so they could have that futuristic gun that he shoots at the end.
yeah.
No reason,
No
honestly.
reason. Really?
No reason.
So we're going to move on. Next week, we're talking about another movie that people are probably going to be surprised to find out it qualifies for our show. It is, I don't remember if it was Rotten Audience score or critic score, but it was, or maybe both, at least one. Fast and the Furious. The very first Fast and the Furious movie is next week on Bad Movies Rule.
You want to talk about cringe?
Oh, dude. I haven't seen it since then.
It's
So
rough.
I have not watched any of them.
you haven't seen
ever.
any of them? Oh,
Never.
I love
Really?
those movies, but it's rough.
Here's all I know is the last 5. There's 10 of them now, right?
I only saw up to 5.
We say X.
The last 5. Sorry.
There's X of them.
F7, the final saga. Wait, there's 3 more. I don't even know what the subtitles for all these are. The point is, like, by the time you get to the last 5, they're totally different movies than what the first couple are. Where they're trying to
Yeah.
be like underground street racing movies, where now they're just like comic book cartoons.
Yeah,
You know?
They're like the Avengers of car racing.
Right.
I don't enjoy the newer ones because
Right.
they just are so stupid. Like it's like we're gonna fly the car.
Just like
space.
little kids.
You know
playing
what
with
you should
toys.
do is use
little
a
kids playing with
plane.
toys. Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a little jarring to go back to this first one after I've seen the recent ones. To
Yeah.
Be like, is this even the same universe? We'll see. But I'm excited to do it and pick it apart, and people will probably be pissed off. And you know what? I don't care. So join
Me
us next
either.
week. Perfect. Join us next week for Fast and the Furious on behalf of Stephanie, Brian, Ryan. Thank you guys.
Peace
Appreciate
out.
you. We'll
That
catch
was a
y'all
loud clap.
on the next one.
Yeah, well, sorry.
I thought something popped.
You should do some whip noises to this.
That's a throwing knife.
Well, what would
LA face with Oakland booty.
No escape. We can't leave.
It
except
belongs in a
we do.
museum. Sorry.
Daddy?
Daddy chill.
Don't die, Daddy.
Bread.
What the hell even is that?
Daddy chill.
You can call me Daddy.
No, what are we doing? Stop doing
I want
this
everyone
over-
to know I did not say that one time. All right.
He's-
the outlier.
It's weird he wants us all to call him Daddy. I don't understand.
I don't understand.
You guys are ruining the ending song.